In the ruck for Moe will be Ben Morrow, and he'll be up against Big Ben Willis. So the two Bens will go at it to kick off round 5 of the TRFM GIPPSLAND League. And Morrow was the one that got it down. It come off the end of his boot. Working hard out there was Sim. A quick handball got smothered. Now it falls in the hands of Sandbrook. And that's Sandbrook at Leongatha this afternoon, play against his old team. And we've got a free kick in the middle will go to Cole Sandbrook.
Held off the ball there, Daryl, by Harry Sim.
So Sandbrook, of course, as we mentioned in the pre-game, at playing against his old side here.
And he would have had a lot to do with Harry Sim as well, I reckon.
Absolutely.
Harry would have been looking up to him for direction in his footy.
Strong midfielder kicks it inside forward 50 the first time. The new recruit there was Lloyd for Leongatha. It comes over the back, running on nicely there. Looked to be Matt Wood, and he slams it through, and there's the opening goal. Side 45 seconds.
Leongatha boys straight over to Cole Sandbrook. Obviously, it would have been a big build-up for him playing against his old side, but obviously a perfect start for Leongatha, getting a goal in the first 30 seconds.
And on the Harvey Norman Computers GIPPSLAND scoreboard, as they say, just the 1 minute mark of the first quarter. Leongatha 1 goal straight 6. Moe yet to score.
Yeah, and also coming from Leongatha too, Scuzz. Originally Leongatha, then to Moe, and then back to Leongatha.
So the ball comes back to the middle. In there for Moe is Fleming as a midfielder, who has had a good afternoon. Falls into his hands and quickly wrapped up there by Hayden Brown. And of course, Fleming, we speak about these young guns of this Moe side. He's one of those who has come into this side this year and slotted nicely into the midfield. He's a tough in and under, so is that man Wood. Out there was Darnell Greck. Sim tried to go through as well. He had 2 or 3 goes at it, and the umpire said he didn't have full control. And it'll be a free kick to Sim. Point of the square, drives a drop punt to the top of the square, inside 50. Skelling goes up, really strong mark in front of Dugan. Takes the mark for the Parrots. And Troy Makepeace on TRFM.
Leongatha switches the play out wide, goes to not Murphy, but Davidson. Davidson fumbles his handball, has to go back and get it himself. Pressure comes from
free kick
Murphy
over the shoulder.
It was going to Leongatha, was it?
Going to Leongatha, just
call,
over the shoulder. Troy
Davidson goes to the wing, misses a target. Marriott can't gather it, gets it on the second grab. Comes inside to Scaling. Scaling to the 70 metres out. Hurry kick forward, diving forwards. Ganane drops it just at his feet, and the pressure comes with a tackle from that looks to be Josh Pearce. No, Lachlan Rees. Deep inside defence for Moe.
We speak highly of the Moe defence. Their back six has been pretty settled. Good work by Morrow in the ruck there. Just a squeezing handball out. Missed it though. McGrath gave it a cross over the top there to Borshman, who got tackled immediately. And the umpire will ball it up. Nathan Scarra down at the boundary line this afternoon for Carper Country.
Just perfect conditions down here, boys. Hardly any wind. It looked worse up in the box. It's actually not too bad, but I am under the grandstand.
Big tap there from Willis, who got it going his direction. There's a lot of numbers around. The umpire will just pay the free kick here to Mitch Stanlake, as he will take this one in his defensive 50 now. They do like to switch at Moe. On this occasion, though, Mitch looks to go to the far side. Now he looks for the switch. Decides against it. He's been told to give the switch, but Mitch has said, no, I'll go down the line, and probably in the end a poor decision, because Cole Sandbrook took the mark, who comes inboard to Willis. He's about 80-90 metres around from goal. Is Ben Willis on the Ted Summerton reserve on the far side, swings around with his right foot, goes to about 20 out over the back with Stanlake to spoil, front and square. Good work by Chrissy Dunn, and that's how you kick goals. The Parrots have 2 inside 4 minutes.
And I did say that there wasn't much freeze boys, but that did look like it carried a fair bit then going into Leongatha's forward line. So I'd say they have got probably a 1 or 2 goal advantage going to that end, but he just knows how to find the goals, doesn't he? He just finds it. Nice rove off the pack, and nice snap at goal there.
12-point lead to Leongatha at the 4 minute mark of the first quarter. The Harvey Norman Computers GIPPSLAND scoreboard reading Leongatha 2 goals straight 12. Moe still yet to score.
Young Hayden Prestige has got the tough ask of tackling Chrissy Dunn as the ball's back in the middle. Ball's to Bowman. Bowman gets a clearance for Leongatha. That wind carries it over the back. Knocked forward there by Lloyd. Great pressure in the back
holding
line
the ball.
there's that free kick we're talking about, boys. Now look at that. Look at the clearing. Stanlake releases a handball to Renitz. Renitz goes long down the line. Nice strong lead by Ainsworth. Drops it as he goes to ground. The 1-2 handball ends up with Bowman. Bowman gets pushed over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in half forward flank for Leongatha, as so far in the last few forward 50 entries for Leongatha. Moe have found it hard to get it past their centre line.
Jake Mackey was the one that gave a little bit of support out there to Bowman. But the boundary throw comes back in. Morrow will tap it back to his right hip. He couldn't quite get it with McGrath. Willis has to do a little bit of groundwork. Picks it up and no one went near him. Sandbrook sold some candy and then lost the football. The umpire said play on. Sculling was back there. Little chip kick. Inboard towards, that was Forrester. He gets it further afield. Now the handball goes to Davison. Goes inside 50 with his boot. Ganane was there. Turns around. Kicks it back into the hot spot. Harry Seam for the Lions. Picks it off. He plays on quickly. And he got it out wide to, is it Reese or Prestige? Could be Lachlan Reese out there. It was Murphy in the end. We were both wrong. Goes towards the wing. Big fly out there.
Holding.
Free kick will go in the way of, is that Sim?
Yep.
With the white boots on. Blazing on the wing here at Moe. 5.5 minutes in and Leongatha have got 2 straight goals. They led it by 12 points. Sim's kick over the top to Fleming. And he's on centre wing. All the numbers are down the line. He kicks in that direction anyway. It's going to be close to the boundary line. Coming in from the side, there's a push out.
Shepherding.
So Baboon was the one that flew, but it was Bowman who gave away a free kick, and it was Ainsworth now has it some 55 metres out from goal.
Ainsworth looking inside 50, just chips a kick in and the wind holds it up, and reading the play nicely was Sam Forrester for Leongatha and takes a defensive mark 40 metres out from Moe's goal. Dugan stands the mark. He has a lateral kick to Mackey, still inside defensive 50. They just measured looking at going forward. Moe holding up nicely. Mackey hugs the boundary line, coming across nicely. Takes a strong mark in front of the barrelling in Ganane.
Oops.
And
just had a bit
go back here. Nearly went the wrong way, did Charlie Rennitz. He's been in some really good form.
I'll tell you what, if he's not the interleague full-back this year, there's something wrong.
Rennitz goes long. It's all Leongatha back there. They protect their players nicely. Scully drops it. Chucks it off the back. Is Tom Fleming.
Free kick.
Oh, give him a goal.
I was with you. I was watching Fleming. He was well roved. Scalling's going to be the one who wins the free kick, but gee, that was a great goal as he goes across the face of the goal to Sandbrook. The handball just at the feet there of Baboon, who was put under a little bit of pressure. Are they up to the task, the Parrots? Quick chain of handballs. Forrester gave it to Baboon. He kicked it inboard to Chris Dunn. He's high up the field. Who marks? He loops a handball over the top to Marriott, right in the middle. Blazer was closing, but Marriott kicked it inside his 50 towards the recruit there who just signed on this week in James Lloyd. He went to ground. Moe's up to the task. A 1-2 handball. Baldy gave it to Biffin. Biffin kicks it backward 25 metres. It's a contest. It's dispute. Chrissy Dunn swoops on it and puts it through. Biffin's had a brain fade. Leongatha's got 3 in a row.
You wouldn't read about that, would you, boys? He's gone back. It's like he didn't see the Leongatha players there, and he's kicked it back probably 20 metres, and it was a high loopy ball, and Leongatha actually outnumbered Moe at the contest, and Dunny just finished it again. He's playing higher up the ground as well. Dunny's been up and back a few times, and he's been really involved.
Leongatha's lead now out to 18 points, 8 minutes into the first quarter on the Harvey Norman Computers GIPPSLAND scoreboard. The Parrots are 3 goals straight, 18. Moe yet to score that free kick, which was a Moe goal, which would have been 6-point margins, now an 18-point margin. That's interesting how one thing can turn things right around.
Yeah, there's a bit of pressure we haven't seen the Moe backline under, and a turnover that we certainly haven't seen this year. There's a ball back in the middle. Willis flies. Handballs to tapped it down to Borshman. Hitting the pack there was McGannon. And we'll have a contest. Pack forms.
One thing that we didn't mention there, boys, was Marriott's. He just corralled him really well too, didn't he? He didn't let him go forward at all. Exactly
right. Another ball up. Good work from the stoppage there from Jaden Van Dyke. Got on his boot out to the run there of, looks to be, was it Luke McKay, who has a bit of toe. The ball comes towards his top of his 50. Good work by Sandbrook. He's had a good start to this game against his former club. Kick goes out wide. Mackey, no, that was working hard on that occasion. Looked to be Joel Norton there of Leongatha. Sandbrook again, swoops on it. Could get run down behind from Dugan it was, but he got his handball away. Over the cut, Borshman was the one who ran into it, but Jacob Wood with a strong tackle. Just another forward fray was stopped there, and that could be the spark that the Lions need as they trail by 18 points.
Wood comes wide. Sculling gets one hand up for it, falls down to Jay Murphy. Murphy gets a hurried kick forward. Leading the race there is Farmer. Sandbrook really strong over the ball. Handballs back to Baboon. He overruns it. Farmer hurries a kick inside 50. Darnell Grech juggles a gathering ball. Handball's back to Murphy. Murphy goes to the top of the square. Coming inside again is Farmer. Falls out to Leongatha in Ryan Olden, to Bowman, to Mackie. Chips the ball over the top. Falls at the feet of McGannon. Gets under pressure. Wood gathers for Moe. Handball's inside to Pearce. Pearce hurries his kick forward. Willis drops the mark. Hurried handball from... Can't find Mackie. Working nicely there is Stanlake. Legged and will win the free kick for Moe. 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle. He'll be kicking into the breeze, so I think this will fall short. We'll get the big fellas back there, maybe look for an Ash Dugan to fly, and he won't fly because he'll have to fly pretty hard because he's on the boundary.
Paul Carter, the best on ground thanks to Gippsland Isuzu Ute stats to Cole Sandbrook early.
7 touches, 2 kicks, 5 handballs at the moment.
And
Harry Sim 4 touches for Moe.
James Blazer hasn't touched the football yet in this game. We've travelled 11 minutes. Can Stanlake get the first score for the Lions? I think he'll score. Whether it will be 6 or 1, time will tell as he comes in with his right foot on a twirly. He likes it off the boot. Starts it left, the wind brings it back nicely, and that's what they needed, the Lions. The defender, Stanley, gets them on the board.
Yeah, and it's just that defensive pressure. They got it in there, the Moe boys, and just would not let it out. All the Leongatha boys were under so much pressure. It was just a hack kick out and a long sort of handball there from Benny Willis, and that caused the turnover and the free kick and goal.
Moe now 1 goal straight, 6 on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. They trail by 12 points from over Leongatha, who are 3 goals straight, 18, and we are now coming up to the 12-minute mark of the first quarter.
How's my form saying the wind was going to hold it up? It went through half post high into the breeze from 45 metres.
Back in the middle they go. This time Willis taps it straight down. Look at that beautiful run from Brown. Swooped on it and got it. That could be 50, and it will be. As James Lloyd came out, marked on his chest, got shoved in the back by Renitz. And this will take him right to the goal line. This will be another goal for the Parrots. It's been a goal fest to start proceedings of round 5 of the TRFM. And the guy who signed with the Parrots during midweek comes in. He's a good size, right from the goal line, puts it straight through, and every single Leongatha forward and midfielder go to him. There's only 2 or 3 Leongatha guys that are in the back half that couldn't get there, as James Lloyd gets his first in Leongatha colours.
And there's one thing that we've seen a bit with Leongatha, and that's other guys in the ruck other than Benny Willis. That was an unbelievable tap there to Hayden Brown, who just hit up the forward. He was really quick to react then as well, and he got the free kick, the 50, and finished it well.
Leongatha's lead back out to 18 points, 12-minute mark first quarter. Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard sees the Parrots on 4 straight 24, leading Moe 1 goal straight 6.
Last week we called Morwell Sale. It took them 10 minutes to get 1 goal. We've gone 13 minutes and all of a sudden we've got 5 goals. And that's a big moment thanks to Monticello's. The Smirnoff vodka 700ml, $36. As they're back in the middle again. Willis, a good tap, and it nearly went to Brown. It was
worked out.
Well, it did again. Great call, Scuzz. Exactly how you called it. That nearly happened again. Brown delivery inside towards McGannon, just a little bit too tall for him. Crashing the pack there was Lloyd. Comes to ground, the umpire said let's ball it up. 40 metres out. Gee whiz, Willis to Brown.
That's why the last 2 centre clearances have gone that way. Willis throws Morrow off the ball and
free kick.
Gives away a free kick. Morrow wins the free kick for Moe. That last, he's got handball off to Biffin. Biffin runs and bounces. This time he goes forward with the ball, not backwards. Goes to the wing. Nice lead-up play there by Matt Pearson. Takes a mark on the second grab. Defensive side of centre wing for Moe. Chips the ball over the top. Hard lead there from Farmer. Gathers at the second attempt. Handballs over the top to Dugan. Is that not Dugan? That's Luke McKay. My apologies. And Luke McKay wins a free kick on the outer half-forward flank for Moe. Looking forward, bit stagnant play there for the Lions.
Lots of numbers, Troy, back there.
Goes along, hugs the boundary, setting himself there.
Oh, Pearce.
That's Reese, isn't it? Josh Pearce takes a strong grab. Comes from 3 deep, works his way to the front and finds himself hard up on the boundary, a bit further around on the boundary than what Stanley was before.
His defender worked him out of the contest fairly well, but Pearce was up to the task, nearly took it with his back facing it in the end.
Going to back himself right on the boundary. Pearce, that's a shocking kick off the boot. And bounces in front of the behind line and goes through for a minor score, the first behind for the day.
1-1-7, that takes Moe 2 on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. Leongatha a 4 straight 24.
So bringing it in, there will be Bowman for Leongatha. Kicks it in towards the half-back. Good strong mark by Mitch Stanlake. And I was bumped into Mitch at the canteen before we come on air, and he said, good to see you back. I said, you too, Mitch. He said to me, he goes, I'll see you after the game. So pretty confident in his performance. If he puts this through from about 65, he'll have he's only two goals.
Not.
He's got a breeze coming across his left shoulder. He's about 65 and he unloads the drop punt. Well, he got his ambitions, his expectations mixed up with his ambitions there. Didn't make the distance by 5 metres. Leongatha are back there. Westaway handballs into danger. Sam Brooks had some quarter in the first here. Sweeps a handball to Davis and comes back inboard to Hopkins. Now Marriott was there as well. He's got Morrow to beat and he kicks it off the ground. Does Cameron Stone, and it goes over.
There's plovers here, boys. You see that?
On the foot. Well, the plovers are protecting their nest. As Biffin now for the Lions drives it back inside forward 50. Pearce is there as well. Falls to ground over the back. Snap of the body. Riley Baldy misses for a minor score. That would have been a great goal. The youngster from Gippsland Power, of course, from the Maui Lions. Back with duties here for his home club this afternoon. And that's a minor score, Paul.
16-minute mark first quarter on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. Maui are 1-2-8, trailing by 16 points. Leongatha 4 straight 24.
Ball ends up from the behind into the corridor. Maui's attacking half. The centre circle. We'll have Willis over the top. Great tap down. Can't find Marriott. Gets it on the second attempt as Marriott. Handballs back to Brown. He's tackled straight away. That's a strong tackle from Josh Pearce. And we'll have a ball up. There's those tackles we're talking about, boys. If that was how Nathan Buckley wants it, that would have been a free kick to Maui.
Yep, fair enough. Yes, Nathan?
Sculling, boys. I think he's playing on Dugan today. He's following him everywhere he goes, and Dugan's off. They're both standing on the line ready to come back on.
Well, very interesting work. We've got another ball up, so the football hasn't moved a great deal in the last 10 seconds of play. So again, Morrow this time. He's just been called for... No, it was Ben Willis who was called pulling the arm down. As Morrow, the free kick, handball out the back to Prestige, kicks it to the shallow pocket. Chris Baboon takes the unopposed mark in the end in front of Ryan Farmer. As we've got a bit of a quick question for Nathan Scarra to work out. Have we, Troy?
Yeah.
Do you want to do that one now?
I'm sure I've seen a number 9 for Maui Scuzz.
Righto.
Oh, there's a turnover. The kick out of back pocket has been turned over, and James Blazer will be the one that will have a shot on goal, and that could be costly as the Parrots are looking to come in board. They tried to take it on and kick towards probably true centre-half forward, but in the end it was a turnover as right on the 50. James Blazer unloads a drop punt, and the wind takes it away for another minor score. The Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard in this first quarter. The biggest range and the best prices guaranteed.
15-point lead to Leongatha, 18-minute mark first quarter, 4 straight 24. The Parrots, 1-3-9 Maui.
Paul, just quickly, the last few inside 50s.
Oh, nearly a big hanger.
Last 3, Troy, to Maui.
Just not quite making amends there. We're going to go inside 50 again as Blazer wins a free kick. Switches it up lateral, finds Murphy. He fumbles the mark. Pressure comes to the front.
Good contest.
Great contest from both players. Fierce tackle. And we'll have a ball up on the half-forward flank. Sam Forrester putting his body on the line there for the Parrots to wrap this one up.
Boys, I've just been down. Number 9 is Leo Conley.
Thank you, Scars. Good work.
Instead of 5.
There it is. For those listening out there, he's changed
Blazer
the number.
puts his body on the line. Let Sam Forrester know that he was around, and we'll have another ball up as he's wrapped up by Cole Sandbrook right on the 50-metre line for the Lions. Sculling over the top, taps it down to Bowman, can't get it quick. Oh, great work from McGrath. Releases over the top to Ganane. Ganane handballs inside to Sandbrook, handballs out to Marriott, runs inside 50, ball on the boot, Scrappy going inside 50 and hits the behind post on the full, and will be a free kick to Maui. Great link-up play through the middle there from the Parrots.
Yeah, it certainly was. 19 and a half minutes gone. 15-point margin in favour of Leongatha. They've started very well this afternoon. As Stanlake thumps this one. Well, that one's nearly gone 65. He couldn't do it a couple of months ago. Big fly by Dugan. Takes a big mark, and a big mark for Monticello this afternoon as Dugan on his half-back flank. Strong mark. Goes out wide towards Fleming. Manning the mark out there is Westaway for the Parrots. as Tom Fleming has it, got called to play on, so he has to kick it high and up over the head, goes close to the boundary line.
Oh,
strong mark by Baldy. And the youngster, it was out of bounds on the full in the end. I'll tell you what, these young kids of Moe have certainly got a little bit of flair, and it all stems from Harry Sim. I reckon he's taught them all well. As the ball comes across the field of play, out there was Joel Norton on his back line. He's a scrubby kick. Blazer's going to swoop on this one. He drops the mark. He's under enormous pressure. Mackey throws him to the ground. Blazer tries to kick it off the ground again. It's Mackey and Blazer go at it, and they continue to go at it. The ball goes over. Mackey goes, I'll stand up. Blazer says, I'll have a crack as well. Good football by the Parrots and the Lions.
What a contest that was. It was almost a figure four leg lock there from Mackey on Blazer, as both players went at it at 100 miles an hour there. The boundary throwing, Skelling goes over the back to Greg. They haven't called him much. He's wrapped up straight away. Forrester releases Hopkins out to McGrath. Socks it off the ground. Work there from Reese for Moe. Sees the ball out for a boundary throwing right in front of the coaches' boxes. As it's just gone up another level, has this contest, as Moe is starting to put a bit more pressure on, but can't get the results from their inside 50s. Darryl.
Ball quickly back into play, which is what we like to see. Bowman from the stoppage. Ganane does well. Marks strongly, 60 metres out, waiting for the lead. Presenting there was Lloyd. Marriott goes back the other way. He has to chip one towards the half forward. Forrester marks. Right on the point of the square is Forrester. Wood mans a mark. Forrester's delivery to the pocket. Over the back, just nearly reading that one nicely was Hopkins. Close to the line for McGannon. The Parrots that goes over for a boundary throw-in at the South Street end here at Ted Summoner Reserve. It's 21 minutes gone. And Leongatha a 4 straight 24. Moe a 1-3-9. And Leongatha press again. Working hard through there was Lloyd. Quick kick from Braganolo to the half-back there. Looks to be Baldy again. Kicks it on. The run out there on that occasion looks to be for Ainsworth. Swoops on it now. Handballs over the top towards Baldy again. Just taps it in front of him. Gets to the 50. Sliding down on the knees there was Hopkins. He taps it out. Clean handball from Dugan to Baldy again. Has a shot at goal. Can he make amends? It bounces and it goes away for another minor score. Baldy's second efforts and third efforts have been good.
Yeah, fantastic work rate there from the young fellow, and really putting his body on the line as well. Sandbrook brings the ball back in, misses the target. Falls to Morrow, hits the ball hard. Handballs off inside to Farmer. He's tackled, wrapped up nicely. Knocked off the ground. Comes to Jay Murphy. Gets a hurried kick forward. Goes a bit up and under. Umpire says play on. Great tackle on Olden there, but a clearing kick from Leongatha. It's going to fall in the hands of Biffin though for Moe. Going forward, has an option out there in Blazer. Blazer and Sandbrook. Blazer works to the front. Sandbrook holds on too long and gives away a free kick. Great work from Blazer just to hold that front position, forcing Cole Sandbrook just to wrap the arms around the body there and give away a free kick. And Blazer's going to line up for goal 40 metres out on a slight angle.
Yeah, well called there, Troy. You did certainly protect that drop zone very nicely. And Sandbrook had no other option but to hold as Blazer comes in. There's a beautiful kick of the football. Straight through the middle. He started slow. He's now working into the game nicely at the 23-minute mark, and he gets Moe's second.
And how Moe got the ball down there was that defensive run out of their full back line originally. They just run the footy so well. They attack so well coming out of their back half with their quick, medium-sized players. And once again, Biffin gets the ball around the middle part of the ground, just set up really well, Moe, and gets it in there, and Blazer finished well.
It's an 8-point lead to Leongatha on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. 24-minute mark of the first quarter. Leongatha 4 straight 24, Moe 2-4-16. Inside 50s boys, 10 apiece.
Well, and the margin is 8 points, so a great game of football. As to the two ruckmen haven't had a rest as yet. They go in the middle. Good work by Bowman to kick it high out of the clearance. Stanlake spoiled, goes over the top. Good work by Greg. Got the handball over the top to Biffin. Working hard there was McKay. It goes inside 50. Dunn just kicks it off the ground. It goes towards the goal line. Working hard there was Lloyd on Renitz. Lloyd does well at ground level. Handball's back to Davidson. Close on the boundary line. A snap around his body. It's going to fall in the hands of Tyson Biffin from the Lions, who can clear it out.
Here they go.
The run out of the half-back line. Murphy gave it back to Braganolo. He has to backpedal. Stanlake's on the boundary line, close by. Right foot kick towards the half-back flank. Good work out there by Fleming. Coming across, though, was Marriott, who can gather it. Try to don't argue. and it goes over, and we've got a boundary throw in. So Nathan called, here they go, and the Leongatha defence were up to it.
Yeah, they responded really well, Scuzz.
Yeah, they did. It's only because I said it, though. But
They were all the way over the other side of the ground as the boundary umpire throws the ball back in. Great work by Willis to Marriott. Marriott handballs over the top, looking for a teammate there, finds one in Norton, but he's under immense pressure. Marriott just reaps it out of the pack, handballs wide, finds Forrester. Forrester gathers on the left, goes just as shallow inside 50, and it's all Moe back there in Tyson Biffin. And Moe looks to reload, switches to his partner in crime in Renitz. Still has nothing out on the near side. Biffin works, going to find him now. Oh, he drops the mark. Bowman putting pressure on. Socket off the ground, comes to McGrath. McGrath for Leongatha, puts the ball on the boot, and it's going to come just short as Stanley gets back. Gets a fist on it into the big upright and has a minor score.
It's a 9-point lead to Leongatha on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. Leongatha 4-1-25, Murray 2-4-16.
Stanlake will look to unload one of these long drop punts he plays onto himself. Now he unloads with it, gets it way outside 50. Right to the wing it goes, it clears the pack. Baboon was the one there and he plays centre-half back. Forrester got it, chipped it over the board to Marriott. They just look a little bit cleaner going forward at the moment to the Parrots. They're working a lot harder as Marriott will look to just chip it to a little hot spot. Well worked by, on that occasion, Lloyd, who crashed the pack. And Renitz is down. There's 2 or 3 Moe players down. Was it
Biffin and Renitz?
Coming back for the flight was Biffin, wasn't it?
Just put his body on the line there and see the ball out for a ball up.
About 30 metres around.
Morrow taps it down to Wood. He can't gather. Ball still on the ground. As Moe players look to work it out, ends up with Stanlake, releases Murphy. Murphy chips the ball forward. Working hard there is Pearce. Great work by the Baboon. Oh, gathers on the third attempt. Can't find the handle on that one though is Bowman. He's wrapped up straight away and we'll have a ball up. Half forward flank for Leongatha. Deep inside this first term. We're just coming up on 27 minutes and a 9-point margin in favour of the Parrots.
Been a great game so far in this first quarter, as expected. 2 of the top sides in the TRFM Gippsland League this afternoon. Don't forget, we're going to get you up to date with all the scores at quarter time, and that is thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland. Of course, Bairnsdale taking on Wonthaggi, Maffra and Morwell's the other game. Sale and Druin, and the big one is Warrigal taking on Terrell. Both sides coming off 2 losses in a row. Whereas back here, it looks to be Leongatha after they lost by 44 points last week. They certainly come out firing in this first quarter, and they've kicked 4 goals, 1 to lead it so far by 9 points. And we're at the 27-minute mark as Morrow Willis tapped it over his head. Stanlake off the back of that pack gathered it, kicked the torpedo towards the wing area. It's a foot race now and it's on. And the Baldy is the one with pace, and he has the arrogance, takes one bounce, gets onto the left foot, kicks it back in. And inside forward 50 it goes, but Chris Baboon and Ash Dugan didn't like it from the youngster. As Baboon took the uncontested mark in the end, he came inboard to Westaway. And he's 30 metres out directly in front in his defensive 50 is Sean Westaway. So he chips it, could be a turnover. Baldy's got 2 to beat, couldn't do so. Stone was there, handballed off to Baboon, goes short to Cole Sandbrook. And for Gippsland Isuzu Ute this afternoon, Paul Carter. Sandbrook has?
He has now 6 handballs and 3 kicks, so it's 9 disposals.
Well, that kick goes high towards half forward. Misreading that one was James Lloyd. Renitz does well, so does Marriott. He just handballs high in the air because no one was back there. It was Olden was trying to run onto it. He's got 3 or 4 low ends closing. He does well, Olden. Can he hold it in and wait for the troops to arrive? He's done very, very nicely. And that's a good result for the Parrots.
Did that really well, did Olden, and is deep inside this first term. Didn't allow an easy return from 50 for the Lions. Willis, Morrow wins this one down. McKay puts his head over the ball, tackled. Wood gets his barrels in there and he's wrapped up by Tom Marriott. Right on the 50-metre line for Leongatha. Umpire doesn't wait, he balls it up straight away. Willis knocks it forward to Marriott. Handballs out to Olden, he's under pressure with that kick. And see the ball out of bounds on the full 5 metres around from the behind post.
Tell you what we might have to do at quarter time is get Nathan Scurry out to the umpires. We're just loving their work at the moment, Nathan, and something we spoke about in the pre-game, and Paul Carter, you mentioned this, getting the ball moving quickly. It could just be an initiative that they're working on, Scud. We want you to go talk to the guys in yellow out there, the boys and girls.
I can do that when I can get votes out of it, Scud.
Retrospectively. Right on the quarter time side, there it is. and it's been an entertaining first quarter here at Ted Summerton Reserve. The Parrots lead it, and they lead by 9 points. It is Leongatha 4-1-25, Moe at 2-4-16. They kicked 3 goals in a row to open the first quarter, did the Parrots, and Chrissy Dunn got 2 of those. Borshman and Lloyd were the other goal scorers for the Parrots in the first quarter, while for the Lions, Stanlake the defender, Blazer the midfielder. Second quarter coming up after this. It is Gippsland Live on TRFM. For Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland, the biggest range and the best price guaranteed.
Macra by 8 points over Morwell. Warragul leading by 13 points over Wayward, Traralgon and Sailor dominating Druin.
Well, the second quarter is underway. Good work by Luke Mackey of Moe. Gave a handball off to Darnell Grech, who got it out wide towards Ainsworth at the half-forward line. Just fumbled and then kicked it over. And we'll have a boundary throw-in. Some other scores from other leagues at this stage. North Gippsland looks like the one you've got there, Troy.
North Gippy, it's Yarran by 8 points over TTU. Glengarry by 26 points over Cowar. Woodside by a goal over Sale City. Hayfield by 1 point over Gormandale. And in Travis Brighton's 300th game, fantastic effort. Churchill are trailing Rosedale by 1 point.
Willis did well from that stoppage. Hammered over the top to Borshman. He got it further afield by hands. And the kick to half-forward. Close to the boundary line and the fence out there, and lucky we have those beautiful signs around the ground which stop the impact, Nathan Scarra, for our Monticella's big moment out there as well.
Right in front of the
Right in front of the signs here was the leading forward in James Lloyd. And we had another boundary throw-in over the back. Good work by Blazer. So strong, and then won his own footy. He kicked a helicopter drop punt towards half-forward. Going back there was Pearce. Good spot there by Ainsworth. He's got a little bit of space. His is a helicopter kick inside forward 50 as well. Sculling does nicely. Over the top to Hopkins by hand. Sandbrook, and he got cleaned up. Dugan didn't mean it, but it come on, and Hopkins is down. Meanwhile, Bowman has the footy on the wing. Keep an eye on Josh Hopkins, and Dugan obviously didn't mean that one. He's got his hand in the air and he's very concerned. But that football towards Jackson Glenane, or John Glenane, that is. Glenane plays at Sale. Last week we were calling him. This is John Glenane, who directly in front will go back.
He's got really strong hands, doesn't he,
Yep.
Darryl?
Presents really well too.
Really does. So the defender's got to be right on his game, because you give him a couple of inches and he'll take every bit of that.
I want to go back to the clash between Dugan and Hopkins. You saw it, Troy. Can you let us know about it in a moment?
In a moment, as Ganane makes his way to the 50-metre line. Very measured approach. Gets to 45, puts the ball on the boot, comes off the outside of the boot. It's going to miss everything and go out of bounds on the full. I did see it, Darryl. It was a solid hit.
Hopkins gave the handball over the top and Dugan then closed.
Yeah, so Hopkins went into shepherd Dugan on the way through, and Dugan met him very heavily. Just looked like a really solid hit.
All right, all fair in play. Hopkins is okay, and he's up running around again. Little chip over the top there by Pearce, just got smothered, but Ainsworth swooped on it. Now it comes in the hands of Dugan. His kick, it's an open forward line, believe it or not. No one's inside forward 50. Running back nicely there was Baldy. Handballs over the top. Just missing the target there on that occasion was Van Dyke. He goes back in again. A quick handball is being called a throw, and it will go in the way of Moe, and this is Jaden Van Dyke. Of course, his brother's not playing this afternoon in Scott, normally the renowned goal kicker, but Jaden will have a shot, and he'll have the breeze that will come from the can bar here at Ted Summerton Reserve across his right shoulder, kicking towards the South Street end. We're 3 minutes into the second quarter. They trail by 9 points, will kick from 48 metres, and that's a shocker. It's going to miss everything, not even make the distance. Baboon has a double take. Dugan swooped on it, snapped it around his body for a minor score. Well, that changed pretty quick.
It certainly did it. It was a shocking kick. Fell in the hands of Leongatha, gave it up to Dugan, and Dugan just...
Baboon had 3 bites at it, and on the third one, that's when Dugan swooped on it.
Like a seagull to a chip.
Paul Carter.
Greenham Gippsland scoreboard. That's the first quarter. Score for the quarter. 2-5-17 Moe. 4-1-25 Leongatha. We've played almost 4 minutes.
Fly from behind from Sculling. Can't bring it down. Falls to Van Dyke. Gets it inside 50. Great work there by Baldy. Gathers. Snaps it over the shoulder. The young fella redeems himself from the miss in the first quarter. Gets a nice goal. That could be our goal of the day from Baldy, thanks to Gippsland Live.
They're the type of goals you just got to give to coaches, in that they set up so well there, Moe. Leongatha had no chance of getting out. As soon as the ball hit the ground, there was 3 or 4 Moe guys around the footy and a quick kick in, and it finished out as a goal.
And on the green and Gippsland scoreboard, that margin's now back to 2 points at the 4-minute mark of the second quarter. Leongatha 4-1-25, leading Moe 3-5-23.
Looks like it's going to be one of those days in the middle for the two ruckmen in Morrow and Willis. They have not had a spell and they have not left the centre circle. And this time it was Willis who tapped it down, but in there was Ainsworth. Bowman tries to work hard, then got a boot to ball, went straight up and down. Brown handballs out to Marriott, gets it further out wide towards Davidson, who got wing tackled by Murphy, and the umpire said, let's ball this one up. Still only metres away from their centre circle here at Moe. Morrow, I'll give that one to Marriott. Crashed through, nice handball to Hopkins, out to Sandbrook. Handball again. Oh, a little fumble there by Leongatha from Norton, allowed Moe to swoop on it. McKay has worked hard. Sandbrook goes at ground level again, tries to squeeze a handball out, and he does. Crashing his way through over there was Cameron Stone, and off the field is...
Hot too high, boys.
And it's going to go to Stone.
Yep.
So Cameron Stone on the half-back flank, chips it towards half-forward. Brownsy's target, goes up. Oh, and great mark. As it was coming, Darnell Grett coming back with the flight. Bowman puts one hand up, takes an absolute specky. 50 metres out. Oh, now it's smothered on the mark. I think it should nearly be 50. Pearce wasn't the one on the mark anyway. The ball goes towards half-forward with a kick off the back there of Murphy it was. And it was end up marking by Sandbrook, who marked it, kicked it back down towards Dunn direction, who keeps his feet again on Darnell Grett.
Hayden Brown.
Brown it is, does well, comes inboard to Sculling. He just slows it up, he transfers the football back across this near side. Big clash. Great work there by Norton. Kept his feet, handballed over the top looking for McGrath. Biffin is there though. McGrath has a second effort. Good work by Murphy again to get boot the ball. Lands in the hands of Pearce. This is Josh. Right foot kick goes towards the wing. Dugan has it. Again, no one inside forward 50, but they've got Ainsworth if they can get it in there all on his own. But Leongatha with the weight of numbers does well. And good Bowman, risky kick goes inboard to Brown.
50.
And he did. It's either 50 or play on. It doesn't matter. The umpire got it right. As Brown goes again, kicks a turnover. Over to you, Troy.
Laser cuts this one off. Now it gets out to Ainsworth.
Finally.
The wing. Finally gets there. Hamill's inside to the Greg. Greg runs to 50, puts the ball on the boot. That looks great off the boot. Great transition play from the Lions from the turnover. Coast to coast, goal, Moe.
That was just an unbelievable play, boys. Just a basic turnover there from Leongatha on half-back, and Moe just make you pay. If you get the ball in Moe's hands with no pressure in the back half, they just run the footy so well, and it goes forward and they finish it off again. But one thing, boys, I haven't seen Marriott that much at ground level, but his hands under pressure are unbelievable.
Yeah, 4 kicks and 10 handballs to Marriott so far. Green and Gippsland scoreboard sees the first lead change of the day. Moe leading by 4 points at the 7-minute mark. 4-5-29 to Leongatha 4-1-25.
Very well called, Troy. What a great passage of play and a great game of football we have on our hands. In the middle, good work by Wood. Handballs over the top to Luke McKay. Couldn't quite gather it cleanly. Wood has to go and help him again. Handballs out towards Ainsworth. Runs to the 50. 49 chips it over the top. Great work. Good spoil there by Mackie. West away it was. Football still in dispute. Sculling tries to crash his way through. Head over the football there is Josh Pearce. And the umpire said, let's ball it up. This is a great game of football.
Things are really starting to open up as both teams are going 100 miles an hour. Moe are putting Leongatha a bit to the sword in this so far in this quarter. Willis tries to knock it forward, falls out to Brown. Brown releases through defensive
good kick
50 and finds Matt Borshman on the half-back flank, comes inboard. Great work there by Bowman, takes a strong mark. He goes further afield to Sculling. Sculling has a runner in Verboon, links up through the wing, has to go on the left as pressure came from Pearce. And was that downfield, boys?
Yep.
Yeah, downfield as Pearce gave Chris Verboon a nice solid bump, and Brock Davidson will be the recipient of the free kick right on the 50-metre line.
This will be a big kick, boys.
Saw Stanlake try to unleash from 65. Davidson will go from 55. Gets there now. That's a nice kick off the boot. The wind's going to bring it back. Nicely, and it goes through. That's a beautiful goal from Brock Davidson. We have seen some classic goals so far in this second term.
What an absolute cracking game, boys, we got here at the minute. But Verboon just, if he wasn't on his left foot then, they wouldn't have got the downfield because he just took that extra step and wore the pressure in the tackle. which resulted in that downfield. But that was an absolutely brilliant finish from outside 50.
And the Leongatha scoreboard sees the lead go back to Leongatha. They lead by 2 points at the 9-minute mark of the second quarter. The Parrots are 5-1-31, leading Moe 4-5-29.
A quick around the grounds checks for Harvey Norman Furniture. Gippsland scores in the netball. It is Moe 23-8 leading Leongatha as they go forward again to the Parrots. Working back there nicely again was Davidson. Handball out to Marriott. Goes up and down in the air. Braganolo swooped on it. Over towards Van Dyke. That's Jaden. Kicks it out towards the wing. In the direction there of Leo Connolly. And the youngster out there is Jake Vanderpelt. But the boundary line will beat them both. Vanderplite, that is, of Leongatha. And the two youngsters again will have a boundary throw in. And guess what? Willis and Morrow will put their hand up. Been a good battle this afternoon with the two big dinosaurs. As Morrow put it down towards Blazer. Just lost it in the tackle. Play on, said the umpire. Worked hard again. Hopkins, the 1-2 handball was nicely. The kick, though, the half forward just at the toes there of Marriott. Over the shoulder, the umpire said in the back, though. And Marriott gets a free kick on Stanlake.
Cracking contest too, isn't it? Marriott and Stanlake.
And Marriott kicks it out towards Westaway. Good clean hands below his knees to Sculling, who's had some sort of day as well. Goes to the hot spot. Over the back, McGannon just misread it nearly. Off the hands it was. That would have been a cracking goal as well for a minor score again.
5-2-32 Leongatha on the Gippsland scoreboard. They lead by 3 points over Moe, 4-5-29. Almost 11 minutes played.
Troy, some of these matchups out there are pretty enticing. We've seen some great ones across the time that we've been calling on TRFM, but gee, we've got some good ones out there today.
Yeah, the one we just mentioned, the Marriott Stanlake one, as Biffin plays on from the behind, kicks it long and wide. Flying from the back was Baboon.
Dugan was up first.
4 deep, does Baboon. And let's paint the picture for the listeners out there. It was Willis and Morrow at the front of the pack. Dugan flying 3 deep, and then Baboon from 4 deep clunks it.
Great.
But his kick was an absolute shock. Kicks it out of bounds right on the junction of the 50-metre line and the boundary in Leongatha's forward line. Cracking contest, 11.5 minutes gone.
That was another one of those great matchups, isn't it?
Fantastic. Willis and Morrow, there's another one. Comes over the back to Brown, handballs to Davidson. He's tackled straight away.
Holding the ball.
Says holding the ball. And Darnell Grech, we haven't called him too much, boys. Wins a free kick, chips one over the top. It's Harry Sim. Has Hopkins for pressure as well. Sim gathers, does a 360, wheels around, handballs backwards, looking for Farmer. Handballs back over the top to Sim. Gets the ball inside 50. Lovely kick. Dugan, that just plonked in between Sculling and Baboon. The kick was measured nicely, and Dugan just put himself in the right spot.
This will be tough.
Line up for goal. Kicking right on the 50-metre line.
I don't think he's got it in him. The breeze will be blowing fairly strong. Oh, he's kept that low. Gee, that it never went more than 15 metres off the ground. It cleared everyone except for except for Sculling. Josh Sculling on the last line of the fence took the mark and put it back out towards the far side, and that's a strong mark by Hopkins. And he marks, comes
very good.
inboard. Beautiful kick to Davidson. He chips one over the top to the wing. Good run there by Borshman, who spins around. No one's on the mark, so he plays on. He kicks it towards half forward, the direction of Lloyd. Lets it bounce. Oh, it took his eyes off the football because Renitz was closing, and it went over for a boundary throw-in.
I would have liked to have seen that kick go in the Gamayne direction. He's been really strong with his hands, and he leads straight up the middle as well. Just a really good solid target, but he went wide, and the wind carried it out of bounds, and we'll have a boundary throw in 50-metre line in favour of Leongatha. Willis, they're giving away a free kick there, over the shoulder, as it was Benny Morrow who worked to the front nicely and held his position. Willis gives away the free kick for Moe. 13 minutes, 3 points in favour of Leongatha. Morrow goes wide, hugs the boundary, goes to Blazer. Blazer gets a 1-2 handball with Braganolo. Shrugs off a tackle, links up through the corridor. He finds Pearce. Matt Pearce chips the ball over the top to Grech. Grech releases, finds Luke McKay. He's going to let this bounce. Gathers on the 50. The pressure comes from Westaway. Nice kick inside the corridor. Finds Darnell Grech 45 metres out, almost directly in front. Just wasn't sure about letting the ball bounce there. Could have gone either way. It paid off, and Grech's going to line up for goal for Moe. See if he can get the Lions back in front. in this second term.
This is where you want to be kicking goals from, Troy. No doubt you would have kicked plenty in your time here.
You backed him in, Daryl?
I backed him in. You're the Maui Immortal. You should know. Right on 50. Kept it low, but he's pushed it across. Doesn't make the distance in the end. And it's all
one there for long.
Yeah, it's all Leongatha. Verboon, his kick was just at the toes of Davidson. He handballs over the top back to Verboon. They're going to get out of this one okay. The Parrots kicks it down towards the wing in the Willis and Morrow direction, and it's over those two guys' head.
Very disappointing. Very slack there from Maui. Just was like 6 Leongatha defenders. Just easily bring the ball outside defensive 50.
Absolutely. And they end up getting the football on the wing. So they relieve the pressure. The back's now able to set. And they look to win this stoppage. Farmer just kicked it off the ground. Running onto that one out there is Murphy. It's Ainsworth now. Swooped on to a second tackle. He took on one too many. And he got pinged for holding the ball by, it is a Brown, Hayden Brown. On his half-back flank is Hayden Brown. Chips it over the top. Oh, good closing speed there by Wood, who got up high. So did Murphy. Gave it to Ainsworth again. Ainsworth sold some candy, then kicks it inside 50 again. Verboon goes back with courage. Good work by Dugan to cause the contest. West away, got a clearing handball out wide in the Brown direction. Nice little shimmy. Gave it across to Olden. His kick goes down the line to Bowman, who takes the mark in the end unopposed, and just will slow things up for the Parrots.
Bowman looking inside the corridor.
For the first time, the big fella comes off in Ben Willis for the Parrots.
Bowman lets to go long. Hopkins creates a contest. Falls down to Davidson. Hurried kick forward. Boundary line should beat all players here, and we'll have a boundary throw in. I reckon I've called it the last 5 minutes, 3 boundary throws from this exact spot. 50 metres around from Leongatha's goal.
Which is a big moment, thanks to Monticello's right in front of their sign here at Ted Sumner Reserve. Big bit of 30 blocks, $54.
Boundary throw in, Skelling and Farmer. Skelling knocks it down, running onto it there is Baldy. He takes the bounce, runs through the wing, kicks forward, looking, great work by Verboon. Working Dano Grec underneath the ball and winning himself a defensive mark. Chips the ball inside the corridor to West away. 20 metres from his defensive goal.
All the players run to this near coach's box side, but he was always looking to go to the far side, Troy.
That's a nice kick. Great work over the top there by, that's Murphy. Creates it.
Good little hand.
Sharked off there by Bowman. Releases Brown. Brown, nice pass to Ganane. I really love his strong hands. Goes long, one-on-one inside, forward 50. Great work
mark
by Lloyd. Strong mark. That's not easy to do in front of the informed Charlie Renitz, as James Lloyd marks strongly on a pretty tight angle. This is no gimme, but distance will definitely not be a problem. He's been lively, has the newcomer for the Parrots in James Lloyd.
Comes from Shepparton. Good footballing area up in the north of Victoria. And he showed a fair bit this afternoon in his first game. Will come in, slide angle, 15 metres out, on its way. It's got the second. Well, he becomes a multiple goal scorer for the Parrots. And they put this one out to a 9-point margin.
If anyone's upset with the way the AFL's going at the minute, I'd get down here, boys, because this is this is an unbelievable game. It's just end-to-end. There's big marks. There's one-on-ones all over the ground. That was unbelievable. There was just one little hand that got in the way from a Jacob Wood handball, and Leongatha were away. Big marks. It's been a fantastic game so far.
9-point lead to Leongatha on the Green and GIPPSLAND scoreboard. They're 6-2-38, leading Maui 4-5-29. We've played 18 minutes into the second quarter.
I reckon it's got a lot to do with Leongatha. When we talk about big games and really great games of football, some we've seen over the last couple of years have all been involving Leongatha. As Brown from the stoppage for the Parrots wins this one, goes to half forward. Biffin decided not to take it and allowed Davidson to grab it and then chip one nicely. And he found a leading target there in Chrissy Dunn, who has got 2 goals already and directly in front. And Dunn just pops up at the right times. He is a super player.
He's one of those players that he might only have 10 touches, but he can kick 7 goals.
This is going through, make no mistake. The experience, there is no one that can moz this man, Chrissy Dunn. He is the superstar of our competition. And if this doesn't go through about post-high, well, I'm going to give the game up. Chrissy Dunn comes in at the 19-minute mark. It's on its way. It's a shocker. And I'm giving it up. It's going out of bounds on the full. No. It's just stuck in for a point. That's it. I'm out. See you later.
No one can moz him except you. He's gone. He literally, he's left the building. Scott's left. There goes the pen. The door's just about to come off its hinges.
Going to be a long day, Makey.
And while all that's happening, it's a 10-point lead to Leongatha, 6-3-39. Murray 4-5-29. Greenham Gippsland scoreboard, 19-minute mark of the second quarter. Come back, Daryl.
No, leave it. We get the car. we get the Isuzu.
You know what makes it worse? The Leongatha, their own teammates are telling me to get stuff that's going to go as well. They meant to be cheering this one home. Chrissy done missed.
In no part of that were you right then, Daryl. You said he's got experience and he'll kick it through. He kicked it about 45 stories high, and then when he got hold of it, he took it about 45 metres high.
Well, we can moz the best of him. As Biffin plays onto himself, has a bounce. Now he's in a bit of trouble. Ganane was putting pressure on. Great work by... was that done again? It was. Gets out towards 50. Handball over the top there from Ainsworth. He got held onto as he got rid of the football. Murphy does well. Drives it towards half forward. Bavoon in the front spot. Can't mark. Good work back that by Vanderpike. Goes back onto his right foot. Kicks it out wide. Forrester can't quite mark at ground level. Coming through there was Riley Baldy, who certainly has some toe.
He looks lively, doesn't he? Every time the ball's in his area, he makes something happen. Does Riley Baldy.
I'm going to get that Vanderpike right throughout the afternoon at one stage, surely.
It'll be like me and Ben Belson.
20 minutes have gone. Margin 10 points in favour of Leongatha. Sandbrook has been fantastic for Gippsland Isuzu this afternoon. He's kicked down the line just in the field of play in front of Lloyd and Renitz. And we've got a boundary throw in. It certainly has been an exciting start of round 5 action, TRFM. Great to have your company wherever you may be, right across Gippsland and the Valley this afternoon. As the ball comes back into play now. Farmer did the ruck work for the Lions, couldn't quite get it there. Forrester does well, so does McGrath. Put it on its boot inside 50. Here he is again, Chrissy Dunn. He's taken the mark from 40 metres out. This time he can't miss. Surely, Chris Dunn, you've got to.
Daryl.
You've made me look like a fool once. You're not going to do it twice, Chris Dunn. And we talk about Interleague just around the corner. Surely the Leongatha boys have got to jump on board here as well.
Is it at this ground as well?
Yep.
The Interleague is at this ground, of course it is.
Might get the practice.
Chris Dunn, to redeem himself from a couple of moments ago, skips in to about 45. Chris Dunn on its way, and it's going and it's hit the post. Can you believe it? Again.
Look at it. They're giving you heaps down there, Daryl. He's telling you, look at him, he's telling you, get out.
That'd have to be a Van Roy, is it too? It is too. That's why he played the earlier game. As we had another minor score. This time Stanlake will bring things back into play for the Lions. Kicks it out to the far side. Going up, marking strongly. Has very strong hands. Goes backwards towards Sandbrook. Runs to the point of the square. Puts it on its way. Going to pick this one off is Biffin for the Lions.
It was a minor score, but it was a major hit to the confidence of Van Roy there on the wing. Moe looked to work this out. No, called to play on is Renitz. Handball's back to Baldy. His kick smothered. Great work by John Ganane on the back pocket or forward pocket there for Leongatha. We'll see the ball out for a boundary throw in.
Boys, this is exactly what Carver said at quarter time. They just want to stop their run coming out of the back half, and it's exactly what they've done, Leongatha.
Well, they lead by 11 points to the Parrots. They've extended the margin from 9 at quarter time. It's still inside their 50. Wood works hard at ground level. Gets it again, does the tunnel rat. Puts it on his boot, and it goes over for a boundary throw in again.
This is one of those moments we spoke about in the first quarter, Darryl, where it's just ebbed and flowed. Now Leongatha is starting to put Moe under the pump after Moe got off to a really good start. It'll be interesting to see what Moe's response will be as we Farmer up against the big Willis. Willis knocks it backwards. Great work off the back of the line through Forrester. Forrester chisels. This time Dunn can't mark. Over the back there is Prestige. Just clears, just bangs it on the boot. Sandbrook stands underneath it.
Done well.
Great second effort. Runs through half forward flank. Kicks the ball inside 50. Dunn puts one hand up. Lloyd puts a tackle on. Braganolo gives the ball up. And we'll see a Beno's just sock it off towards forward
good
50.
pick up.
Great work there. That was Forrester. Looked to be inside forward 50. Hurried kick outside. Still inside 50 full as Bowman to McGrath. McGrath snaps it over his left shoulder. Bounces in front of Dunn. Knocked through by Stanlake for a minor score as Leongatha have just upped the ante and Moe need to respond.
Greenham Gippsland, your local Aussie-owned processor. Solid jobs available at Greenham Meatworks.
Leongatha now leading by 2 straight goals. They're 6-5-41 to Moe's 4-5-29. We've played 24 minutes of the second quarter.
Around the grounds for Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland in the AFL. Gold Coast Suns are leading the Dogs by 9 points, and at half-time it's the Bombers by 7 points over the Hawks.
Stanlake has been, well, it's called downfield, and it seems to be in the contest.
Downfield as well.
Yeah.
He's kicked it
And
70.
no one's on the mark, so Blazer plays on, kicks a wobbly one to half forward. Oh, great mark by Westaway to go back with a flight. It was a tough one to take.
If that was over the back, Moe were away. As Blazer takes a strong mark on the wing over Bowman. As this time he waits, a bit more measured approach. That's a trip/block.
Play on to the umpire.
To Van Dyke, back to Blazer, gets to 60. Great pressure, hurry kick forward. That's going to come off as Darnell Grech leads Sambrook to the ball and marks hard up on the boundary in the forward pocket, right in front of the can bar.
Good crowd.
We've seen AFL players from this situation run around. He's not a left footer, but he looks to go the traditional drop punt. That's the way he's holding it at the moment.
Troy, what would you kick from this position? No, don't answer that. You wouldn't have been there.
Barrel, I would have kicked a barrel.
On his way, he started to the right, kept it skinny, and it's through for a minor score. You would have kicked a barrel,
I
Troy.
would have kicked a barrel. I'm a left footer, so I would have maybe run around.
How many goals did you kick in your career here at Ted Summit Reserve, Troy?
About 0 goals, 15, I reckon.
That barrel would have went 30 metres too.
No worries, Sav Rocker.
11-point lead to Leongatha on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard. They're 6-5-41, leading Moe 4-6-30. Coming up to half-time, almost 26 minutes gone.
It's all right, Troy. Still doing good things with your barrel these days. As Westaway on its way outside 50. Big spoil by Stanlake over the back. Marriott had his head over the football. Quick kick by Sim, picked off by Sambrook. Play on, not 15, the umpire said. He puts it back on the boot. Great work by Ganane out on the wing. He can turn around. Have a look at Forrester just sneaking inside forward 50s on his own. Hopkins has it. He goes out wide. This is the grandstand side. Scalling's the one. He takes on a tackler in Wood. Does he get around him? Only just. Play on, said the umpire. Quick kick over the top by Norton. Found McGrath on the half forward. They did enough there, the Lions defence, to allow him to pick up the forwards of Leongatha as McGrath now gets called to play on. Kicks it high towards the pocket. Going to fly is Lloyd in the front spot, but Stanlake read it nicely and takes the mark in the end. Very close to the man on the mark and managed to find his target in Darnell Grech.
Chopping at the arms free kick there, Daryl.
Okay, so Grech puts it on its way towards half forward. At the back was Prestige. Hand goes up from Norton. And it comes over for a boundary throw in right in front of the Moe coach's box here this afternoon. The margin is 11 points at the 27-minute mark of this second quarter. It's been a great game so far. Just a little bit stagnant as Leongatha got the last 2 goals, and the last one coming 10 minutes ago. From the stoppage, Fleming couldn't quite keep it in under a little bit of pressure from the mullet man in Big Ben Willis.
That's been a cracking contest, hasn't it, boys? The big ruckman, they just bore in, don't they, both of them, and just work to the front. Morrow taps it over the back, can't find Blazer, held off the ball there from Scalling, and he'll win himself a free kick on the attacking side of the wing for Leongatha. I was a bit, he chips the ball over the top. That's nice work. McGannon cutting it off nicely there is Jay Murphy. Plays on quickly. It's end-to-end stuff. That's
lots of Leongatha.
5-on-1. Van Dyke being the one. And great work over the back there by Vanderplyte. Gets the ball over for a boundary throw.
Continue what you were going to say a couple of moments ago, because I reckon I know what you're going to say.
Scalling. The game against Traralgon, I thought he was a bit disappointing, but he has been absolutely fantastic today.
Certainly has. Big punch from that stoppage land in the hands of Murphy. Kick goes down the line. Sambrook couldn't quite mark it on the first occasion. Westaway puts his head over the football. Now Sambrook helps. Great work, handball. Sim was there at the top of the 50. Fleming went to crash in and could have given away a free kick, and he has. And they're going to get stuck in. I don't know why they're getting stuck into Dugan, because Fleming's just out the back, but Scalling and Dugan now go on with it.
Scalling didn't like it.
No, there was a free kick, and now Hopkins tries to come in and throw his 35 kilos weight around. And the ball continues on. The siren goes. Now this could bubble on now between, well, Brown and Wood go at it. Hopkins is there as well. Van Dyke gives Brown a shove.
Umpire's having a decent work with Brown as well.
Certainly is, just telling him to get away, and now Pearce goes again at Hopkins. It's half-time. The coaches start to get involved, and Ricky Gallier walks out there as well. There's lots of lip going on. I don't think it's now. Sandbrook walks through and says, "Remember me, boys." As both sides now separate, the umpires are in the middle. The coaches have got both their sides. It's starting to boil, and that's what we like. All fair, though. What a half of football we've witnessed here at Ted Summerton Reserve. Leongatha 6-5-41, Maui 4-6-30. And we have a game on our hands. You're listening to Gippsland Live on TRFM right across Gippsland and the Valley. It's great to have your company. We've got a big second half coming up after the break. It's Gippsland Live, and we do it for Harvey Norman Electrical. Gippsland, the biggest range and the best price guaranteed. And Scurra, these two rivals will go at it again. Leongatha will be Morrow up against Willis. Start the third. Willis got a clean tap away. McGrath was good off the line at half forward. Gathered it, put in towards Ganane. And there he is, Troy Makepeace. You spoke at half-time. The blonde flowing locks, the long sleeves of John Ganane was presenting well, took the strong mark in front of his eyes and on a slight angle. And dare I go there, boys?
No. You know what I like about
40 metres out.
He's always in front. As a coach, you want your forwards to play in front. He's always in front and always first to react.
He hasn't got one this afternoon. That is a goal that we're talking about, but he can get one inside the first 50 seconds of play of this third quarter to stretch the margin out to 17. It's on its way. It comes back. Not enough or too much in the end, and it misses to open it up. A minor score. Paul Carter on the McDonald's Cafe scoreboard.
It's 6-6-42 Leongatha. They lead by 12 points over Maui. 4-4-6-30.
We put the call out there last week, Troy. The Australia's most popular barista-made coffee at Manly McCafe. Wouldn't mind one here this afternoon at Ted Summerton. Anyone listening can drop one up in the commentary box. Be very much appreciated as Biffin plays onto himself, brings it back outside the defensive 50. No one can mark. Good work there by Murphy. Sandbrook crashes his way through two or three tacklers, but got pinged for holding the ball, and Braganolo said, "Got you this time, Cole."
No, it was Murphy. Murphy goes long down the line. Baldy flying from back as Pearce goes through his hands. Bowman hurries the kick forward. McGrath just knocks it over the top of his head. Goes straight to Stanlake though. Look out, Ganane put the pressure on. Goes wide. McKay leading the way there in front of Cameron Stone. Goes back inside the corridor. Back to Stanlake. Ganane closed again.
Good pressure by the forward.
As well. Holds Moe up. This is what Scud was talking about, what Leongatha wanted to do. Just stop them going forward, as they have had 4 possession. They're still on their half-back flank. This time it's Biffin. Goes back to Stanlake, racking up a few posies early. Stanlake chisels a ball, goes over the top of Hopkins, falls in the hands of Jacob Wood. Wood wheels around, ducks inside Hopkins, goes long, shallow inside 50, West away coming from the side, flies from the back. Great work there by Joel Norton, and holding the ball, Riley Baldy. He's lightning when he gets his hands on the footy, but doing the defensive work there and winning himself a free kick as Joel Norton looked to break away. Baldy comes inside the corridor. Luke McKay marks on the half-forward flank, 60 metres out. Goes further inside the corridor. Braganolo shows a bit to the Leongatha defenders. The Braganolo marks. He's going to go wide again. They're basketballing this around the 50-metre arc. Jay Murphy marks on the near side half-forward flank as opposed to McKay. Goes shallow to the pocket. Pushed under the ball there, and getting the free kick was Pearce. That was Josh Pearce for Moe, and he'll line up for a goal.
It wasn't really the matchup they wanted. Oldham on Josh Pearce, wasn't in the end. The pressure
depends on who you ask there, Darryl.
Well,
Moe would have liked that matchup.
Yeah, no, Leongatha didn't. But just the pressure build on Oldham there, and just gave away the free kick to Pearce, who comes in. This is Josh Pearce, it is, on its way, starts it to the left goal post, comes back nicely, and that is a great goal, and that is a great way to start for the Lions in this third quarter.
Yeah, it is a great way for them to start, and Leongatha had a lot of the play before that in the first 3 minutes, but I like the way they just basketballed the ball around, just kicked it around the top and waited for someone to present. And just a good patient play there from Moe, which ended up in a goal.
The McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. Moe got the first goal of the third quarter at the 3-minute mark. They're now trailing Leongatha by 6 points. Leongatha 6-6-42, Moe 5-6-36.
The Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland stores, Troy Makepeace around the grounds.
Yeah, Gippsland live round 5 games, boys. It's Bairnsdale over Wonthaggi at half-time. Mafra over Morwell by 37 points. We have, boys, this is the big one. Warrigal 53 to Traralgon 28, and Sale by 52 points over Druin.
We've got some other ones we'll continue with. We've got 2 stoppages in the centre of the ground here.
Moving North leading Yarragon at half-time. Yulon North are absolutely belting Newborough. Yanara fought back to get in front by 9 points over Thorpedale. Traff have kept Ballara scoreless lead by 72 points, and Hill End by 15 points over Morlees.
Well, in that short little period there, went forward. Ganane had it. He puts it to the fat side, just over the top there of Lloyd. Over the back, working hard was done. Running onto it was McGannon, who's taken the long sleeves off, and he flexes his muscles down there in the pocket. He puts it through. The youngster back from Gippsland Power Duties, Harrison McGannon.
And that was all from Ganane again, boys. Just leading up, reacting first, like you spoke about before, Makey. Just reacts before anyone else. Gets in front, and then he ended up putting it out in front there. But that was a beautiful finish.
Okay, that goal has restored the 12-point lead to Leongatha at the 5-minute mark of the third quarter. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard says Leongatha 7-6-48, leading Moe 5-6-36.
Minus a really solid spoil on John Ganane. I never ever see him fumble when the ball goes into his hands. He just clunks them very, very clean.
Nathan, can you get us a bit of an update on Josh Skelling? He's sitting in the dugout here with his top off. Now, I'm not too sure. It might be a move that he likes to do mid-game, but just got the jacket on with no jumper on at the moment. So see how he is, if that's okay, as the ball goes towards the half-forward line there of Moe. Gets kicked towards around the body. Great work by Baldy again, who went high.
Sorry, Dale, I'm just pointing. Is that Jake Mackey with the jacket on in front of us?
Yeah, he was limping at the quarter-time break.
So they could be in a little bit of strife, Leongatha, in terms of numbers on the bench. And Baldy goes short. Pearce presents again. And there's a chance for Josh Pearce to kick 2 in this second quarter. As
Guys, you got some work to do down there, mate. We need to find out what the go is with Jake Mackey and maybe Josh Skelling.
Mind you, Scuzza just walked straight into the dugout, but that'll be okay. As Pearce is on this tight angle, he's got the breeze directly in his face. This will be a tough shot. It's on its way. He tries to stab at it to try and get it through the breeze. I think he's done well. No, he hasn't. Not well enough.
Well, Peter Ainsworth clapped it. I was watching Peter Ainsworth's reaction. He clapped it, so I was ready to call it, Daryl.
A minor score, Paul Carter.
5-7-37 Moe on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. Leongatha are leading by 11 points, 7-6-48, almost 7 minutes played third quarter.
Well, can you imagine what the president of Leongatha, Mal's, having a chat to his son at the moment? Maybe toughen up and get back out there. But he doesn't look like he will be this afternoon.
Free kick goes away of Ben Willis from the kick in from the behind. 60 metres from his defensive goal. Waiting for something to open up forward. We'll go down to the boundary thanks to Carpet Country.
Just had a chat to Skelling, boys. He's hurt his shoulder blade. So yeah, he won't be back for the rest of the day.
Well, there we go. So they're 2 down. They need to have a couple on the bench to run out this game of football. They need to be on their game and maybe take every chance as it comes, because Marriott here on the wing swings around the right foot towards half forward. Over the top there was Lloyd. Good mark in the end. No one's in the forward 50, so he just has to wait. McGannon's back there. Presents leading back at him. That's ignored. Going back as Ganane. This will go in his direction. He's going to fly for it. Ganane in the pack of 4 or 5. Can't mark. Comes to ground level. Biff and does it for the line. Good little sidestep to get around Lloyd. Gets to the half-back flank. Kicks it high to the wing. Sandbrook goes back. Drops the mark that he should have taken. Baldy was there. Snapped it around his body. Chris Baboon has to go with courage. Does well. Does well with Wood. He gave it back and then puts a strong tackle on Jacob Wood. And we've got a stoppage at the 48 metres.
That little passage of play had a little bit of everything. It was great work by Baboon. Missed the target though, and Wood went and hunted it, but then Baboon followed up with a fierce tackle.
Quick throw up over the back was Blazer. 48 handballs over the top. Ainsworth has a shot, right foot, goes across the face, and again a minor score. And these are the ones that could come back to hurt them.
Well, this is what happened in the first quarter. Sorry, Paul.
5-8-38. Moe trailing by 10 points over Leongatha, who are 7-6-48. That's on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
You're right, it did cost them early in the first, didn't it? Because they
1-4 in the first quarter.
Yep, exactly right. And then Leongatha take it up the other end and score quite easily. This time McGrath went through his legs.
Murphy
swoops on it, right foot kick towards the hot spot. Dugan flies, just didn't have his eyes on the football. Doesn't matter. Falls to ground, snap around the body from Baldy. It bounces and bounces. This guy's all class. The youngster from Moe, gets his second.
Well, Dugan won't get a stat to that, boys, but he just crunched the pack. There was 3 or 4 Leongatha guys going up, and Dugan just flew hard at the footy, split the pack, and allowed these kids to get down under the footy and finish off well with good goals.
Just a 4-point margin now at the 9-minute mark of the third quarter. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard sees Leongatha 7-6-48. Moe are now 6-8-44.
Just quickly do some more around the ground thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland, North Gippsland Footy League. It is Yarram over TTU, Glengarry over Cowar, Woodside over Sale City, Hayfield over Gormandale, and Churchill Trail Rosedale by 9 points. And the girls, Gippsland Power, are trailing at half-time 16-2 against the North Ballarat Rebels.
Well, Moe won the clearance, but it went to half-back where Chrissy Dunn put it high on its boot. Strong mark by Lloyd. He's starting to present. Delivery inside forward 50's beautiful to Ganane, who presents again. He can go over the top if he wants, no. Hopkins is dirty that he didn't get that side inside the forward 50, but Ganane will go back on a 45-degree angle from 45 metres and put it on its way. He doesn't have one this afternoon. Moe are in front in the netball as well and truly up 52-28. There's John Ganane back here from 45 metres. Walks in, on its way, right foot, starts it right, the breeze brings it back, but not enough. And a minor score to the Parrots.
Taking them to 7-7-49 in the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. Moe 6-8-44, almost 11 minutes played third quarter.
Well, Biffin take a little bit of time as the young Oz kicker just puts it back
Very
towards Biffin.
Ganane this week, as was for Sale last week.
Brad Descent
missing some shots on goal. He could easily have 3 or 4 goals, John Ganane. He's just sprayed a couple.
Biffin plays onto himself, gains an extra 5 or 10 metres, then puts it on the boot towards Farmer, who got pushed, and Farmer's going to win that one. On his half-back flank, quickly gets it out wide. Is it out wide there towards, was it Prestige out there, or was it Reese? But that's going to be picked off. He's having a great game, is John Ganane. Right foot again, inside it goes. McGannon's got 3 to beat the little youngster. Can't do so. Biffin was back there, gathers it, gets back onto the right foot, puts it out wide towards Luton McKay. Good spoil over the back there by Vanderplyte. Close to the boundary it goes in front of the can bar. We've got a boundary throw in.
Give you a quick stat now, boys. If Moe are close at three-quarter time, they haven't lost the final quarter this year. Leongatha haven't won one.
Well, the boundary for Carpet Country Gippsland.
Just one thing with Ganane, boys, I've noticed he just in his run up, he just seems to be walking in. He doesn't get any momentum behind the footy, especially in these windier conditions.
Well, the kick goes out wide. Stanlake is there. He can run and just take off. And he runs away from Dunn. 2, 3 bounces across the outer wing on the Ted Sumner reserve. Delivery towards Dugan. He's been pinged for pushing. And it's going to go in the way of Westaway. No, he gives it up to Chris Baboon. So Baboon has the free kick.
Just body use for me.
Yep. Play on, you reckon?
He just protected the area where the ball was going to drop.
Comes inboard, does Baboon, towards Davidson, who can chip it over the top. Missing Marriott, though. Kicked it off the ground there was Reese, Lachlan Reese. Closing quickly on the big centre-half forward in Lloyd was Biffin. And it's
said he threw the ball.
Called throwing the ball, and Leongatha supporters aren't happy. As this will go back to, is it Biffin? Yep.
A little bit blindsided there, I reckon, the umpire.
So you're agreeing with Leongatha, are you, Nathan?
Yeah, I reckon that he did get a hand to that.
Oh, yeah.
Biffin goes backwards again,
what
boys.
happened last time?
I reckon the umpire got it right, to be honest. Rennett's goes backwards. Found
He's
his
gone from the
target.
half flank to the back pocket and found Baldy. He's got amongst the goals so far in this game. He goes wide. Stanlake flies. Marks just inside the boundary. Thought about playing on. Wisely went back behind the mark as the pressure was right there. As Leongatha have done this well. They've held him up. Stanlake has to go long down the line. Flying, putting his hands on the shoulders. But nonetheless, it was a mark going the way of Ben Willis. Comes inside the corridor to Westaway. He's held up on his half-back flank. Umpire calls to play on. Westaway goes dangerously inside the corridor. Nice mark.
Good hands.
Great work. Goes to McGrath from Ganane. McGrath. Lloyd. Lloyd.
Geez.
Strong set of hands coming out from full forward is James Lloyd, and he will go back and look to get his third as he has just grown in confidence as this game has gone on. and look to settle things for Leongatha and get it out to an 11-point margin.
They've found one here, Troy, I think, in James Lloyd, coming from Shepparton, from 45 directly in front. He can take a contested mark, and he can put it through the middle. And we've got 2 goals each in the third quarter from the Lions and the Parrots.
And where that started from was Westaway's kick back inboard. It was no doubt a dangerous kick. It was a Canane that he hit up in the middle there, and it just opened the game right up. All the players were set up down the line. Beautiful kick back inboard, and they were away.
It's now an 11-point margin to Leongatha, which is the same as it was at half-time. At the 14-minute mark of the third quarter, the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard has Leongatha on 8-7-55, leading Moe 6-8-44.
So again, the 2 war horses will go at it in the middle of the ground. Willis and Morrow. Morrow this time got it in the way of Van Dyke to tap it forward. Going back there was Hopkins, squeezed a handball back to Olden, kicks it out wide. Handball over the top was nicely in the way of Marriott. Delivery inside 50. McGrath was there, couldn't quite mark it. So was Forrester. McGannon tried to don't argue, and it came off beautifully on Braganolo. Gave it to McGrath, who kicks a banana from the boundary line.
Well, point. That would have been something special. Great work by McGannon and Forrester just to create a contest as well, as Leongatha just up in the ante.
How good was McGannon's don't argue?
Yeah, he weighs 23.5 kilos, and his don't argue was on Joel Braganolo, so good choice.
2-goal margin to Leongatha, 8-8-56, leading Moe 6-8-44, and that's on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. We've now played almost 16 minutes in the third term.
He did weigh 30 kilos in the first half, but he got rid of his long sleeve jumper. The football went straight down the middle. Working hard at ground level there was Stone. Handball over the top. Marriott just handballed back towards Lloyd, who snaps around his body. And Lloyd has 4 goals for the Parrots. What a goal from 45. A snap around the body. That's hard to do.
I've mentioned it a few times, boys, about Marriott's handballs. That was unbelievable. I don't even know how he's seen him. He was had eyes in the back of his head then. A flick over the back, and that was an unbelievable finisher. Kicked it round the body from 50. That was sensational.
Lloyd's 4th goal takes Leongatha out to an 18-point lead on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. Played 16 minutes third quarter. Leongatha 9-8-62, Moe 6-8-44.
Troy, for Lloyd to come in like this today, he's kicked 4 goals. James Blazer may not have known who he was before coming into it. What do you do now?
I think you stick with Rennes. Rennes has been the informed defender for the league, but it's just a good matchup for him. He's just going to have to just steel himself for fighting last quarter and a half.
Big moment for Monticello's. Moe have to lift, have to find something here in this third quarter. We know their last quarters are strong. Ainsworth goes towards Dugan, lets it bounce, turns around. Can he repeat? No, he delivers off, misses a target though. And again, Brown took the mark, handballed over the top there to Borschmann, who got it further out wide. It was towards Stone direction. His kick was smothered. Fleming now runs onto it, loses the football. He has to go again, does Fleming. Gets a handball out towards the run there of Connolly, and it goes over for a boundary throw-in. Moe have to lift.
Yeah, just going back to that matchup question you asked about, I'd back Rennes in. Okay, you know what he's all about now. You've had a good 2.5 quarters to look at him. Let's just knuckle down for the last quarter and a half and see if you can do a job on him for us and get us back into the game.
All right. I'd make a little change right now and see if we can just stem the tide. They go in, foot side forward, 50 again. Forrester can't mark. Good work by Braganolo. Swoops on it, right foot kick out wide. No one out there for the Lions. And Pat McGrath takes the mark. Comes back inboard. Over the beautiful kick to Marriott. 53 metres out though. He's got no one presenting at the moment. Now Ganane comes and picked off by Blazer.
I'll ask you a question about that, Darryl. As Blazer goes long and wide, working back nicely as Willis. Getting a falcon there is Leo Connolly. Falls back to Greg. He goes high up and under. Flying from the back is Dugan, but you can't do that against Baboon. You can't even fly from the front against Baboon. He'll mark it anyway. He releases. Works out wide on the opposite side of the ground to Norton. He runs and bounces through half-back flank. His kick's going to be too big for McGannon, and marking nicely over the back there is Joel Braganolo. To go back to that question, Darryl, who do you put on him then?
Yeah, I'm going to change it just for 5 minutes. I'm going Lockie Reese is going to go back onto James Lloyd, and I'll get Rennes up the ground a little bit on John Ganane and try and get a little bit of let Rennes read the play take a few intercept marks and take off.
We'll see if anyone down at ground level is listening to
Just
us
for 5
around
minutes,
the,
just till
Moe
three-quarter
coach's
time.
box, just to try and lock it down.
Yep,
I like it. Interesting.
And then maybe go back to him at three-quarter time and tell him, I need a lift. You're going back on him.
Ball up, half-forward flank for Moe. As ball falls over the back to Murphy. Pressure comes from Vanderplyte. Putting his head over the ball as you'd expect is big Ben Willis, and we'll see the ball out for a boundary throw-in. 60 metres around from goal, right in front of the boisterous Leongatha supporters, who have given you absolutely heaps so far, Daryl, as you've jinxed their man in Chrissy Dunn. Boundary throw-in. Willis works the ball to the front. It's Marriott and Blaze are the two.
Oh, here we go. They're going to get involved in a minute. If that ball had gone over, it could have been Van Rooy's first touch of the day. Look at another boundary throw-in. 20 minutes have gone. It is an 18-point margin in favour of Leongatha. Can they win from this stoppage? Pearce takes the ruck work. Good little tap forward and a kick off the ground. Farmer was there. Gave it off to Greg. Needs this one. Darnell. Greg unloads. Drop punt. It's through. That could be the one the Lions are after. Goal umpire goes back to the middle, and Darnell Greg could be the spark.
It was interesting, boys, at half-time. They were talking to Benny Willis about not hitting it to that offensive side. Hit it defensive because Moe's been setting up there.
I think Farmer was a good little tap there too.
It was. It actually restricted him, but it was going into that area, and Moe just run onto it. They've got momentum at the contest, and they just run onto them type of balls.
20-minute mark, third quarter. Leongatha lead by 12 points, and the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard 9-8-62. Moe 7-8-50.
Can they go again? Can they get two in a row? Back to the middle they go. Handball out the back though to Marriott. Took on one. Got around him nicely. Wobbly kick though to half forward. Might come off. Back there, quick squeezing handball. Ganane on the boundary line around his body. We've seen some great goals this afternoon. That's a good point. And another one. Well, McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, Australia's most popular barista-made coffee, only at McCafe. Paul Carter.
Yeah, Leongatha now on 9-9-63, leading Moe 7-8-50.
They're not listening to us, Daryl, down on the Moe coach's box. They're still sticking with Granite's on Lloyd, and it's Reese on Ganane. And I think it's advantage Leongatha in that sense.
It is only 13 points, isn't it? I know that we may have gone a bit early, but we want to win the game, don't we?
Because
when I say we, I'm talking on behalf of Moe. I'm not barracking for one or the other.
But so far, every time Moe have challenged, Leongatha have responded. As the kicking comes, Davidson gets to the front for Leongatha, and seeing the ball over the line is Fleming for Moe. I know what you're saying. It's one thing, you can do the same thing over and over again, and you're going to get the same results.
Yep.
They need to get back in front. They need to maybe just do a little tweak and try and get the game back on their terms. As Morrow works it to the front. Dragonolo wrapped up by Ganane straight away, and we'll see another ball up just inside the forward 50 for Leongatha. We don't want to see wholesale changes, which is what we saw with
that's right.
Warrigal.
Absolutely. It goes the other direction then, doesn't it? A tap out towards the boundary line from Morrow. Brown tried to play for a free kick. He wore one, didn't he?
Yeah, I reckon he got him good.
Well, I think it's going to go in the way of Hayden Brown. And if anyone can kick one from the boundary line, Hayden Brown could be the one, but I haven't declared it. Right in front of the can bar. You'll know straight away which way he'll turn if he puts it through from there. I've got a feeling that he'll wait for someone to present. There's a bit of a gap for Ganane. Oh, he nearly came at him.
Guns early.
Ignored. Well, Brown looks towards the fat side now. He might be having a go at this one, boys. As he's right on the boundary line from about 49, he should have passed it off. And another minor score. Paul Carter.
It's a 14-point lead to Leongatha on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. 23-minute mark of the third quarter. 9-10-64 the Parrots to Moe 7-8-50.
Here's another one for you, Daryl. Is that the only change you think they need to make, or is there somewhere else maybe Moe can get an advantage?
Give me a couple of moments. I might come back on that one.
No, you're the coach. You need to make a move right now.
Well, I'm saying just hold play at the moment. Let me have a look at it. We've got 23 minutes gone in the third quarter. As Stanlake plays onto himself, then kicks it out wide, goes towards in the direction of Baboon, who read it nicely, and
Baboon just got to plonk himself 5 deep in every contest.
Yep.
Take a mark.
Now he's been called to move it on. Nice little kick out wide. James Lloyd outside 50. He can't kick this, surely not with the breeze coming directly in his face. Puts it to the hot spot. There's going to be a big pack, and going up John Ganane. There was a big pack, but there was one that flew higher than everyone else, and John Ganane, who doesn't have a goal this afternoon, surely directly in front. Cannot miss this one. Actually going to mark it down right now. John Ganane has got his first of the afternoon directly in front. And the ball will go back in the middle. As Ganane will come in, I'm going to drag him if he misses this. He puts it on its way. It is through the middle. Never in doubt. Who doubted me? And John Ganane gets his first.
It did go a little bit right there, Darryl. I could see your heart skip a beat then. But he does just walk in, Ganane, when he has his set shots, and it does cause, that momentum towards the goal. He doesn't get that momentum that other players do, but that was a fantastic mark. He was stuck in the middle of a massive pack and his hands just rose and the rest fell away, but he's been fantastic today.
And McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard says Leongatha lead now by 20 points, 24 minutes into the third quarter. They're on 10-10-70, Moe at 7-8-50.
What if you swapped them, Darryl?
Swap the wings, you reckon?
Swap Ganane and who's the other one, sorry?
Rennett's.
Rennett's.
Yeah, well, that was the one. I think I needed it. Over the back they go. Brown goes to Davidson, who goes back to Brown. Handball's inboard towards Hopkins, squeezes one to Marriott. Their good name for the Parrots in this quarter. It comes to Marriott again. He's going to unload from 51 metres on its way. The running goal. It's going for a minor score. Moe need to do something. 25 minutes. It's all been Leongatha the last 10 minutes of play.
Come on, Darryl, you've let it go there a couple of minutes. What's your move?
The move is I'm moving Ash Dugan into the ruck. I'm putting Morrow forward, and I'm going to get the youngster Baldy into the middle somehow. I need some run and carry.
I like the ball you move into the middle.
I want Baldy to run. I want Connolly to run. I want Blazer to run as well. I want to run and carry and handball the football through the danger zone. Ainsworth takes the mark at half-back flank. He caught one too, and he is a little bit groggy, just as he came down and marked that one. It's all stagnant, it's all slow. As Morrow sets himself for the outlet kick down the line. He wants it in front of the coach's box here. And Ainsworth decides to go to the far side on a switch on a 2-on-1. Stanley's got some work to do, he can't do that one. And Davidson takes a strong mark for Leongatha. As he kicks it out wide, the lead presented out there, Chrissy Dunn, who has 2 goals this afternoon. He has 2 bad misses as well. As he takes the mark, there's a blood rule, and it could be, is it Ainsworth? We're just looking to see where the blood rule is at the moment. The trainer's decided to work on Ainsworth out in the field, and the umpire's telling him to get off. Now he goes off as Baldy comes back on, and this could be the chance to get Baldy into the middle of the ground. No, it's not going to be Baldy. He's going to wait as Van Dyke comes on. Well, that could have been a moment, I thought. And another Leongatha Parrot comes to the bench. Don't forget, Leongatha are 2 down on the bench at the moment.
Norton.
As Norton comes up a little bit tight. Cramp, we're 5 games in. Why would you be cramping for, Troy?
Don't shoot the messenger.
The kick went backwards out there. Found Olden on the wing. Getting late in this third quarter. Olden went back towards Bowman and put it out of bounds on the full. And Harry Sim, he might be another one if he can giddy up the ground a little bit. We need some run and carry from these young Lions side. Be daring. Play like there is. You're just having a kick in the backyard like there's no tomorrow. Comes across now to Fleming.
This is where Leongatha's been good, I think.
Yep.
They just haven't allowed Moe to get their flow out of their back half.
No, you're exactly right. Fleming's kick falls in the hands of Darnell Grett.
And again, they get a late one.
It is just kick, mark at the moment. Slow plays. Darnell Grett kicks it towards the wing. A contest again. Big spoil by Brown. Comes to ground. Sandbrook fell over. Moe kept their feet. Dugan was one of those. Squeezed a handball across. Is this Baldy? Runs along. Does the banana. Puts it to the hot spot. He cut the wrong part of the football. Bounces straight up and down the air. Stones had an absolutely mule of a day. It comes around. Wood now. Handball's underground. Gets it towards Van Dyke, and now Dugan comes in. Morrow, it's Blazer, got one over the shoulder it is, and we'll go back and have a shot on goal. And if they ever need a captain's coach's goal, this is the one at the 28-minute mark of the third quarter. They trail by 21 points.
Unlucky there from Cameron Stone. He got 2 of the worst bounces you could ever get from a football bouncing end on end.
I may have said he had a shocking day. He had a shocking moment from the ball, not the day. There's Blazer. They need this one, the Lions, to stay in touch at three-quarter time. It's a helicopter, and it's away. It didn't make the distance in the end, and it's still in the field of play. Leongatha's tried to keep it in. Now it gets rushed through.
I don't think Westaway wanted to take it over the boundary line because that would have kept it inside 50. He tried to get it through from behind and was successful.
right in the shadows of three-quarter time. It's a 20-point lead to Leongatha, 10-11-71. Moe 7-9-51.
Ball goes to the far side again, close to the boundary line. Stanlake handles over his shoulder. Greg was out there, so's Fleming, overran it. Close to the boundary line still. Lots of numbers around this football now. Greg tries to stand up in a tackle, does really well. Gave it to Stanlake, kicks around his body. West away, couldn't mark it. And over it goes again for another boundary throw-in.
I reckon it's execution. I think Scuzz called it earlier. They're cleaner. Leongatha are cleaner with the ball, and a really good point he makes as well about their minimising Moe's run off the half-back flank. So really good coaching and structure as well.
Comes back in. Oldham was the one. Got gang tackled there by two Lions. And again, we'll ball this one up. 29, make it 30 minutes have gone. And the margin is a 20-point margin, but we know, as Paul Carter, you said Moe's last quarters.
They haven't lost one, and Leongatha haven't won one so far this year.
Well, they still might not lose one, but lose the game.
It's true.
As Davidson wins it, kicks a barrel outside defensive 50, and 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 bites, and still didn't pay. Lloyd had a couple of goes at it. Ganane was up there as well. The two key forwards are high. Swooping on that was Marriott through traffic. Right foot kick to the top of the 50. Stone goes back. Westaway is there as well. Falls in the hands, running onto it. Hopkins can't gather it. Van Dyke goes back to help his teammate in McCabe. And it right on the three-quarter time siren sounds. No further score. It is a 20-point margin here at Ted Summerton Reserve, and Leongatha at 10-11-71. Moe is 7-9-51. Leongatha kicked 4 goals in the third quarter to Moe's 3. They extend that margin from 11 out to 20. We've got 1 to go in round 5 of the TRFM Gippsland League. Stick with us. It is Gippsland Live on TRFM. Thanks to Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland, the biggest range and the best price guaranteed.
Kate, Tim and Marty.
You know.
Of course, that we'll get to you shortly, but basically to let you know, we've got the close one here in the TRFM Gippsland League as the final quarter is about to get underway, and it will be Willis and Morrow as it has been for the first 3. Good work by Blazer in the middle to get a quick kick towards centre-half forwards at Westaway. Takes the mark and will go back on his defensive 50. Brown presents, the kick goes out wide, going back was Van Dyke, causes a contest, the ball now in dispute. Stone underground handball was nearly picked off. Going hard again, good work there by Sandbrook from Leongatha. Great tackle though by Pearce as he come from the blind side and put a strong tackle on. And he plays on quickly. God, Darnell Grech left it behind. Pearce had to mop it up. Does well with a chip kick over the top to Fleming. 60 metres out from goal. Wood presents, ignored. Dugan goes to the shallow pocket. It's a poor kick. Might come off for him though. Oh, great work by Jacob Wood who went in high. And we're winning top a free kick.
Hey, boys, I'm not. You don't think he led with the head there?
Well, that's the way he plays.
I reckon he's a bit lucky there, boys.
Okay, well, I think that's the... He's on the football. He wanted to pick it up, and I think you're allowed to pick the football up off the ground, Nathan. I disagree.
He's gone straight into Joel Norton's thigh.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Yeah, well, as Wood, does he have the length in him? Not in height, he might not, but he will kick this from about 50, make it 48 metres. It's on its way. It's a beautiful kick. Has it got the distance and accuracy? What a goal by the young fella. And when I say young, I meant small. Jacob Wood, a great way to start the final quarter. Is that the spark? They haven't lost the final quarter yet. This could be a big comeback for the Lions.
Well, that was an unbelievable shot of goal. No one's been able to get even close on this closer side of the ground, and he's just slotted that from 45 out on a fair angle.
Still inside 2 minutes of the last quarter, and the Turnbulls Gippsland scoreboard sees a 14-point lead to Leongatha, 10-11-71. Moe now 8-9-57.
Joel Norton finds himself on the bench, just hopefully recovering from that hit there on Jacob Wood. If not, that leaves him down to only one change on the bench.
Yep.
Ball back in the middle, sharked off the contest there by Brown. His kick smothered. Marriott puts his head over. Handballs inside to Hopkins. Hopkins goes to the top of the square, working back there nicely. Charlie Reynolds takes a strong mark in defence for the Lions as they look to press going forward. Handballs to Biffin, ducks inside his opponent there in Lloyd. Goes long with a bit of a barrel.
Morrow.
Great contest from both. It's Morrow that comes up with the ball. Chisels the ball forward. Great work by Van der Plyte and Baldy. Baldy, great tackle on Westaway. And holding the ball, says the umpire. No prior opportunity, but that doesn't matter, says the umpire here on this occasion.
They get stuck into Westaway
Baldy
too.
wins the free kick. Half forward flank. feigns a handball to Blazer. Goes back, it's going to go long to the hot spot. Sends Pearce, flying is Dugan. Falls over the back to Stone and Sambrook. Sambrook tackled by Van Dyke. Handballs to Verboon. Releases pressure and finds Davidson on the half-back flank as we can all take a bit of a breather.
Well, I can see that they are going to take it on at all costs. This Maui Lions side, and the kick goes across from Davidson. What a great kick across to McGrath, who was under a bit of pressure from Stan Lake. McGrath kicks it over the top towards Lloyd. He keeps his feet over the back there, running onto it is Borshman. He just has to bend over, and he couldn't bend over and pick it up. Oh, Morrow came in high. Gave away a free no, said the umpire. He'll have it by ball, 55 metres out. Troy.
Yeah, just having a look down at ground level, boys. Josh Pearce coming off to the boundary, really favouring his right arm there, Scuzz. So have a eye on that for us, please.
Well, meanwhile, Marriott gave it across to the run of Stone, got it inside 50. Ganane tried to work his opponent out underneath. It was Braganolo. Good work by Renitz. Chain of handballs again, falls in the hands of Braganolo. Stanlake, Forrester was there for the Parrots. McGannon sold some candy. Handball over the top. Ganane, strong tackle on him. He got rid of the football. Stanlake gave it. It's hot in the clinches. Fleming has it now. Flicked the handball out close to the boundary line. It's still in play. Enormous pressure. The ball goes straight up and down in the air, and Stanlake puts the big golden fist on it and puts it 15 rows back, and we'll get another boundary throw in. 4.5 minutes gone on the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard.
You just you can't afford to take that extra second to try and get rid of the ball, because the pressure comes straight away. So it's going to be the team that's going to be clean, going to be efficient. Boundary throwing, 45 metres around from Leongatha's goal. Morrow taps it down. Oh, great work there by Brown. Tips it to the top of the square. Lloyd bounces in front of him, gathers. Handballs out to Hopkins. He wheels around, gets to 40, ducks back onto his left, gets to the danger spot. That's a great kick and great contest. Brown gathers, kicks the ball towards goal and dribbles across the face of goal for a behind. As game is lighting up 5 minutes into this last term.
And the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard says a 15-point lead to Leongatha, 10-12-72, leading Moe 8-9-57.
Can we see any major changes at all from the Lions, boys? Have they made any? As Stanlake crashes his way through. I'll get back to you in a moment, Troy. Over the top to Van Dyke. He came back with a handball out the back where Stanlake was there. Then gets around. Hopkins, strong tackle. He got his kick away. And coming in to pick that off was Westaway, who marks. He went to go inboard and then stopped and waits. Kicks it backwards now towards Stone, who marks and goes further out wide to Vanderplyt.
Short answer, Scud, at this moment, no.
Okay.
They're backing themselves, backing their own structures.
Vanderplyt kicked it towards Forrester, who marked and then came back inboard to Davidson. The Parrots lead it by 15 points. Chip over the top. It's precise football from the Parrots. McGrath gave it back by hands to Davidson. Kicks it to centre half forward. Inside 50. It's all Leongatha. They're just going to pick it up. Great tackle by Stanlake on Marriott. Picking it off though was Borshman, who put it on his left boot, and it goes through.
That's a quality side there, boys. They just switched the footy. They're patiently out of their back half. They did go that defensive side like they spoke about at three-quarter time, and then cut back in board, and they're looking pretty good. It's going to take a good side to run them down now.
That's 21-point lead now to Leongatha. We've played 6.5 minutes into the last quarter, and the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard sees the Parrots on 11-12-78, leading Moe 8-9-57.
Luke Bowman spent a lot of time so far. I reckon it's most of this quarter.
All quarter
on the bench. So limited by rotations through injury, and they're just trying to hold off as long as possible, trying to get as much run in the legs in all of their midfielders.
So again, Morrow got his hand on it. Working hard in the middle now is Baldy. Forrester off there. Brown did well at the ground level. Working hard again. Fleming picked it up off the ground. Got tackled immediately, and the umpire said that's holding the ball. As the opportunity was there.
It clears the area, doesn't it?
It does.
No stoppages. It just clears the area and gets the ball moving.
Yep. He's been listening to you as the umpire out there, Troy. As Mackie was Brown. Marked it, kicked it out wide, going to fly at the back. Was Dunn, who couldn't mark, but he couldn't spoil either as Stanlake gathered the football and got it out towards Sim. They play on again to the Lions. Inboard handball to Blazer. Over the top to Fleming. Went to go to Sim, but then kept it himself. His left foot goes towards half forward. 2-on-1, the two wins. That's Moe. Ainsworth kicks it inside 50. Dugan's got the set. Body couldn't quite mark it on the second attempt. comes to ground. Sim ran on. So did Stone from Leongatha. Quick kick around the body from Connolly to the hot spot. Beautiful kick. And it lands in the hands, dead in front to Ash Dugan.
Great work out there by Connolly's first attempt outside 50 just to create a contest. Allowed the ball to spill out to Ainsworth. And then it was just immense pressure in the forward 50. And Leongatha did all they could to try and work it out. But it was great work. Disciplined kick to the top of the square.
Joel Norton, who was under a bit of an injury cloud, comes back on to give it another try, and Dugan puts it through. Oh, very, very close to hitting the upright, but he does get it through, and it's a much-needed one. They close again.
Yeah, and they're, like Blazer said at three-quarter time, they can score quickly, boys. So there's there's plenty of time left. Bowman was on the bench here because the ball hasn't been on this side at all. They just couldn't find someone to get off the ground for him to go back on.
Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard sees a 15-point lead to Leongatha at the 8-minute mark of the final quarter. The Leongatha score is 11-12-78 to Moe 9-9-63.
Darryl, we see so many times in situations like this where a team that's been behind most of the day just work really, really hard and give themselves a chance, but just can't seem to run over the top of the team that they're facing at the end. Do you think Moe's got the legs to do that?
Absolutely, I think they do. They've got some young legs in there as well, and I think that could be the spark they need. Good tackle there by Baldy. Their pressure is hot on the Parrots at the moment. It forces a turnover. That was Biffin who marked unopposed, gets it out wide. Here's one of those youngsters. This time it's Connolly. Delivery inside, just on the top of the head of Fleming. He did well, second effort. Kicks to the hot spot again. Great mark, going back. Another contested mark. And it lands in the hands back there of Darnell Grech, who runs around, right foot around the body, misses.
Post.
Wow, that could have been the one. The let-off for the Parrots, a minor score. Paul Carter, the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard.
Moe 9-10-64, trailing by 14 points. Leongatha 11-12-78.
Quick update for you in the AFL. The Bulldogs win it by 9 points over the Suns, thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture. And currently Hawthorn lead the Bombers by 22. Troy Makepeace on TRFM.
Baboon kicks the ball in, measured kick. Brown has his marking attempt scored. Fleming puts the pressure on. Falls out wide, and seeing the ball over the line there is Chris Dunn, who finds himself high up the field. Right on the 50-metre junction in favour of Moe as Luke McKay makes his way off for arrest. Going to be replaced by Jay Murphy. Comes to the front, work there by Farmer, gets the ball to ground, clearing kick by Bowman as we have a holding free kick.
To Moe.
Going the way of, is that Stanlake?
Yep.
Asking for the umpire to give him an extra couple of metres because we know he can kick a long ball. And
Gets a couple.
Gets a couple of steps, but he hasn't gone back for a shot on goal by the looks of it. Going to measure his kick to the hot spot. Ainsworth sets himself, as does Dugan. Baboon brings it to ground. Pressure on. Dugan snaps it out of the pack and can't bring it back enough and goes through for a minor score. They are pressing.
9-11-65 Moe score. They trail by 13 points at the 11-minute mark of the last quarter on the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard. Leongatha are on 11-12-78.
Troy, the old argument of controlling the tempo of the play or taking it on, Leongatha that is. What do? They went short.
Well, certainly plenty of time and too long to be doing the old backwards kicking and
absolutely
holding the footy.
Sandbrook kicks it high towards Bowman and Willis. No one can mark. Bowman there tried to scoop it off the ground. Morrow picked it up and Bowman put him in a bear lock. And we're going to ball up 70 metres out.
I think Leongatha got to start being a bit creative with their rotations, where they position their midfielders on the field and try and get them a breather, but still be dangerous.
Well, from the stoppage, a little flick out handball at the back. McGrath was there. There's been
just dealt with after he got rid of the ball there. I think it was Bowman.
Was it Bowman or Borshman?
Borshman for Leongatha.
And he will come back to where that stoppage was. And inside 50s this final quarter, Paul.
5-4 Moe's way at the moment.
Moe have kicked the 2 goals to 1. They've reduced the margin to 13 points. It was 20 at three-quarter time, and Moe certainly look like they've got a bit of run left. Of course, just repeating, Leongatha are down to 1 on the bench.
This man has been a machine today. That's Hayden Brown. That's a rock-solid mark under pressure, right on the wing. Goes long down the line. Rennett's at the back. Oh, nearly taking the mark there was Lloyd. Turnover. Falls to Biffin. Biffin goes inside the centre square to Sim. Looking to play on straight away. Does that. Goes out wide to Stanlake. He tries to take on his opponent. and does. Goes to centre half forward. Greg, who's been moved forward. Spoiled by Westaway. Pressure. Falls back out to Greg. Handballs out to Blazer. Kicks his shot, kick around the body.
Good
and
kick.
finds Ash Dugan marking right on the 50-metre line. This is a tough kick, but he is one that is capable of kicking. And wouldn't he like to do this in front of the Canberra boys and get Moe within 7 points?
Well, he's got buckets of hands, and that was a great, lots of space. A good kick by James Blazer. It was allowed him just to run there into the shadows of Ted Summerall Reserve, right on the 50, and he has shanked it. He's missed that by 30 metres.
He's nearly kicked it into the Canberra.
He's lucky to kick it at all.
He is. He actually missed his foot, didn't he, Nathan? And that went out of bounds on the full.
That would have missed a second set of posts.
Josh Pearce, boys, is coming back on now.
Oh.
Strapped up.
So Hopkins for Leongatha has it in, well, I'm not going to call it the back pocket because it wasn't that good a kick. As Hopkins brings it back into play. It was in the back line somewhere at least for Boone. Big strong mark, another contested one from the Parrots. And again, holds it up. He's got McGannon. He chips it over the top. The kick was touched from the man on the mark. Stone has to work hard. So does Bowman. Nice underground handball looking for McGannon to run onto it. And it goes over for a boundary throw in centre wing in front of Nathan Scurr at ground level for Carpet Country this afternoon. We've got 14 minutes gone. 13-point margin. The match of the round in the TRFM Gippsland League has lived up to expectations early on. Big punch forward from Sandbrook toward the wing again, and it goes over in front of Riley Baldy, who has had a good afternoon for Gippsland Isuzu.
He's been very good. Another talented youngster coming through the system here at Moe. Morrow works to the front, hits it forward, but there's Hayden Brown. His kick goes forward. Davidson goes through his hands. At ground level is Leo Connolly. Taps it in front of himself. Gathers on the wing. On the left foot. That's a nice pass in front of Greg. Greg gets called to play on. Takes on Westaway. Takes a bounce. Runs to 50. Takes another bounce. Takes on Ganane. Great pressure from Ganane. Turnover. Comes to Marriott. Marriott through centre half back. Finds McGrath. McGrath holds the ball up. Great chase down John Ganane. As Darryl
I want to see him move it. I want to see him move it.
So you're saying at this stage,
I'm concerned.
13 points is not enough.
Yep, absolutely.
McGrath goes up and under. That goes about 40 metres.
Good mark.
Borshman takes a strong mark on the wing.
I'll tell you what, if I'm on the Leongatha coaching side, I'm going to send the message out to start moving it on. I don't like this slow play that they're doing in the final quarter. They need one again. Good tackle there from Sim. Falls in the hands there of Davidson. Good tackle again by Sim, and he's been rewarded holding the ball, but he might take a little while to get up, young Harry Sim. He had two great efforts, and he's not going to take his kick. He's going to leave it for Charlie Renitz.
So that, unfortunately, that sort of can mean something a bit more sinister than just, yeah,
absolutely.
Nothing too bad.
Renitz had to get a short kick over the top, then went high up towards the half-back flank there of the Lions. I just sense that the Lions side have got all the run. It's a 13-point margin, 16 minutes gone.
Harry Sim still in the hands of the trainers on the outer back pocket.
If he's no good, you just make the call now and take him straight off there and get McKay on. You don't want to be one short for too long.
Which will mean, Darryl, if they do take him off...
He can't come back on at all.
So with roughly 13 minutes...
and he's going to...
Marriott.
He's going to have to go.
He's going to go. It's ball's going in his direction. Pack form. Stanlake, fist over the back. We have a free kick.
It's going Leongatha's way.
And it's that man, James Lloyd. It's going to line up for goal. This could be the settler that they need. We are coming up on 17 minutes into this last term. 13-point margin in favour of Moe. And James Lloyd looking to get his fifth for Leongatha and really, really make it difficult for Moe to have any chance of winning this game, as Sim got a bit of a jog going now, but still very, very ginger, making his way towards the boundary.
Lloyd from 40 metres out, he likes it, and he does the fist pump, and that is the one they needed. They won the free kick. He's got 5 this afternoon, and that could be the settler now.
And the reason he got that free kick is because he just puts defenders under pressure. He was going for the ball. There was no real reason for anyone to put body contact on from behind, but he's been so good today. They've thought they had to do something to stop him jumping at the footy, and results in a free kick and another beautiful shot at goal.
Margin back out to 19 points in Leongatha's favour. We've played 17 minutes into the final term. And on the Turnbulls Gippsland scoreboard, we have Leongatha 12-12-84, leading Moe 9-11-65.
It's a ball back in the middle. Most of the quarters are gone. 28-29 minutes this afternoon. So we've still got a good 10 minutes of play, but again, Bowman wins this one out towards the Biffin direction. Oh, good work by McGrath to come off the line. Borshman it was. Quick kick towards centre half forward. Stone scoops a handball up to Bowman. Kicks around his body to a hot spot. Lands in the hands of Davison. This could just about be the sealer. Around his body it goes. Last line of defence. Guess who's got it? Chrissy Dunn. You can't miss from there, Dunny. And he puts it through. He's got 3.
And it's all resulted, that one there was from Benny Willis in the middle. Boys, I reckon he's been massive today. Both ruckmen have run out the majority of the game, but he's just put it down their throats in that middle part of the ground. I'd love to know the centre bounce clearances, Paul, because I think Leongatha have been well on top there.
I'll catch on to those for you in a minute.
So the Turnbulls Gippsland scoreboard see Warren and the team at Turnbulls Gippsland Tarralgon today. Paul Carter.
It's 13-12-90 Leongatha to Moe 9-11-65.
Well, that could just about be it, boys. 25-point margin. Just repeating, as we had the close one. Any other scores coming around the grounds there, Troy? We'll get to those in a moment as well. There's Darnell Grech in the middle. Working hard, though, is Brown. He's been one of the best for Gippsland. Isuzu to Marriott to delivery inside towards Lloyd. He's got it. He's got 5. He's playing his first game. He's been recruited midweek from Shepparton, and he's going for his 6th goal this afternoon. And he'll kick right on the 50 on a slight angle, and the breeze, Nathan, has dropped.
Oh, it's still there, Daryl.
Thank you, Nathan.
Yep.
He comes in right on 49, and the breeze will take this up and short. Didn't quite make the distance. Ganane marks directly in front in the goal square.
Marking it down.
And he'll go through, and Troy has now marked it down. We can't mob him from there.
That's big of you, Troy.
I marked Hayden Browns down before he kicked it, as in the one 2 seconds ago. He was on the last line. As John Ganane will come in. He does have one directly in front, shouldn't miss. That's 25 points in favour of the Parrots. It's been a great game, and he puts it straight through the middle, and he knows that is the sealer for the Leongatha side this afternoon.
Yeah, and they've been really good. They've had times in the game where they've just absolutely dominated and not put it on the scoreboard, but it's been a great game by the Leongatha boys. They've kicked away and just eventually worn down Moe, who've been pretty good also.
Turnbulls Gippsland scoreboard has Leongatha 14-12-96, leading Moe 9-11-65, and Nathan, the centre clearances are 13-5 Leongatha's way.
Yeah.
Gee, Nathan, you know your football.
Thanks, Daryl.
As the football has missed the net here at Ted Sumner Reserve, and it's gone down into Lloyd Street.
Vale Street.
Vale.
No, Lloyd Street, you're probably right. That's gone that far.
It's probably on eBay already.
Consistency's been a real key for Leongatha, boys, and especially with only having 2 players, fresh players on the bench. And I speak of Lloyd as well. Lloyd's kicked a goal in each of the 4 quarters, and they've gone 4 goals, 2 goals, 4 goals, and now 4 goals.
Yeah,
very even performance.
Yeah, it certainly is. And we spoke about the good sides can do it better for longer, and certainly that's been the theme of the day here this afternoon again. Marriott's been super, gave it backwards to Bowman. There's a free kick in the middle though. Football's going to come back. It will be Leongatha's free kick, but it's going back towards Marriott.
Yeah, Stanlake just made him earn that free kick. Marriott chips one over the top, has Josh Hopkins, marks in the opposite centre circle. As he goes wide, now they can do this chip wide and slow down.
Agree.
Barrel, and that's marked on the outer wing. Looks to be, might be Vanderplyte. Comes in board to Bowman. Bowman has West away if he wants him in the centre square. Now they are doing that. He goes backwards, finds Norton. Oh, that's a bit of a dodgy kick. Fleming can't gather. Falls out to Connolly. Connolly gathers, has pressure from behind. Gets his kick away just. Kick inside 50. Oh, great work by Baldy. Should have been given a free kick. But getting a fist on there was that man, Joel Norton. And Darryl, he's still got cramp.
Yes, well,
Complain about this one?
yeah, no, well, look, it is the first game of the year, and he's had a light pre-season, so that's what happens when you cramp. But,
Nonetheless, the ball's gone out for a boundary throw-in. We'll get back to the game.
I'll tell you who wouldn't cramp. Van Roy wouldn't cramp. He's had a big afternoon. There's a boundary throw. Actually, he's probably gone home. He's probably turned off and gone home. Boundary throw in here. He might enjoy the celebrations. Leongatha will. They've travelled well today. Inside their forward 50 again. Good work, Moe. They have a check side. Baldy. Has a go. And I tell you what, he is a fantastic play. He's been one of Moe's best this afternoon. He is a youngster, of course, on Gippsland Power's list. But mark that name down, guys. Riley Baldy. He is certainly one to watch. And the other one there, Leo Connolly, the two youngsters that have come in have been very good for Moe.
And on the Turnbulls Gippsland scoreboard, Leongatha 14-12, 96 lead Moe 9-12, 66, 23 and a half minutes played in the final quarter.
I reckon Van Roy's gone home because you have absolutely demoralised him today. So top-notch sledges coming from the broadcast box.
I'll tell you the best bit, you can't get a response either.
You got a response, don't worry. We saw the response.
He can't have his response, that's what it is. And I'm not leaving here till 7 tonight. As the ball is in dispute now, a good work by Brown at half-back, kicks it towards the middle of the ground. Davidson overran it. Stanlake tried the don't argue, and Davidson dragged him down. Stone in the middle, just gave up the handball. Forrester was there as well. Quick one out. Good work by Brown to win it back. Blazer was strong and through the middle. He's hard to tackle. Handball out to wide towards McKay. Left foot kick inside 50. Baboon reads it nicely. And a hammy. Twang, it's gone. Dugan has done it. And he's in a... That looked like a real bad one, didn't it? As he just stopped straight away. And is not happy at all. He actually looks like he does have it strapped as well, boys, too. So
Sandbrook gets a one through.
now the ball's going to. The ball should come back here. I think the field umpire on the half-back flank is going to call this one back, I believe, to about the centre of the ground.
If you can remember, boys, against Warragul, I said I thought Dugan might have twinged his hammy.
Yeah.
Then he missed last week, and he's come back. And
They say it's like a tendonitis or something like that. Scuzz, was that the sort of message we'll get?
I thought that...
that might have been a knee,
Yeah, the knee, but I thought right at the end of that game against Warragul...
He's an important player for them too, isn't it? And that could be a big loss. They're going to lose this game, and now they've just lost one of their key forwards for potentially next week. And Troy, who do they play next week?
Maul, Traralgon, Wonthaggi.
Well,
next three.
It doesn't matter that Maul haven't won a game of football. When Maul play Moe, it is an absolute cracker. And we are broadcasting that game next week as well, boys.
And with one of their key forwards out, make things very interesting.
As he hobbles off, does Ash Dugan. Late news here at Ted Summerton. They trail Moe by 30 points, and now Dugan's gone with a hamstring injury. As Bowman has it, kicks it 14.5 metres to Jake Vanderplaat.
Must have been 15.01.
It was.
Carol.
Kick down the line. Here we go. Van Roy. No, he still didn't touch it. He's had a shocking afternoon, as young Blake. As we got another boundary throw in. 26 minutes have gone. Final quarter here at Moe. Up they go. Morrow wins it down towards Blazer. Kicks one into the middle of the ground, and it's all Sandbrook. No one's on him out there, and he plays for Leongatha this year, and he swings around on the right boot. Gets it out towards Chrissy Dunn. He's got 3 goals, has done, for the Parrots. Over the top, inside 50. This man has been strong all day, and it's Lloyd. He's got 5. He delivers into the pocket to McGannon. And the youngster, can he put a banana from the boundary? He's looking to pass it off. It's all smoke and mirrors, is it? No. He does the team thing. To the hot spot. No one's there. No. The umpire said bring it back, so it could have been a little bit of smoke and mirrors.
He knew the umpire was going to...
Yeah, he did.
He wants to have a shot from the boundary.
Harrison McGannon, the youngster from Gippsland Power, comes being board towards Pat McGrath, who will mark and go back. Tight angle, breeze blowing into his face on the far side at Ted Summerton at the Vale Street end of the ground. Late in this final quarter of round 5 action of the TRFM Gippsland League. It's been a great Saturday afternoon. As Pat McGrath comes in, looks to join the party on the goal scorer's sheet. It won't make the distance. Can there be a big fly? No, big spoil by Morrow. Sees a minus score on the Turnbulls Gippsland scoreboard this afternoon. Paul Carter.
14-13, 97's Leongatha score. They lead by 31 points over Moe, who are 9-12, 66.
Ball comes in play, goes to the... Oh, everyone lets it bounce. It falls over the back to Ainsworth for Moe. Goes inside the corridor. That's a nice pass. finds Baldy. He's been lively. Handballs inside to the running Blazer. Has no option forward, so he has to go wider to Greg. Greg handballs further afield. Has the running Luke McKay. Runs and bounces through half forward. Gets to 60. Goes on the left. And working back nicely there is Baboon. Gets it to ground level. And Van der Pleit handballs inside. Finds Stone. Ducks inside a defender. Gets tackled. Pressure comes, but they're equal to that. The Parrots. Stone hurries his kick outside defensive 50. Dunn attacks it nicely. Gathers. Handballs inside to Sandbrook. Sandbrook takes on his opponents. And that's a nice release. Kick outside. Finds McGannon. McGannon chips it over the top. Has Marriott. Working back there is Greg, but he can't affect the spoil. Marriott goes on to Lloyd. Lloyd marks strongly in between two defenders.
Play on.
Umpire calls play on. Has to go himself. Does really well, does Lloyd. Handballs forward. Looking for an opponent. And in the act of handballing has legged his opponent. And Moe will win the free kick, go to Tyson Biffin.
You know what I reckon? James Lloyd rocks up. He's got the jumper number 56. Usually good players like that get good numbers. I wouldn't be surprised if they make him 33 during the week. Just to get him into the 33 jumper. As this ball... not really. The final siren sounds. And there it is. The Parrots win it. It went 29 minutes in the final quarter. Leongatha 14-13-97. They're big winners this afternoon. They've defeated Moe 9-12-66. James Lloyd had 5 goals kicked this afternoon. Chrissy Dunn got 3. I mozzed him on 2 of them. John Ganane got 2, as did Matt Borshman, and then singles to Harrison McGannon and Brock Davidson. And we go down to the boundary line because Nathan Scurra's been down there all afternoon for Carpet Country, and he's got Hayden Brown with him.
I've got Hayden Brown down here with me. Good response from last week, mate, against some good quality opposition.
Yeah, Matt for streaks in front of everyone at the moment, which is good for our boys to come back and respond and put in a good performance against a good side. Yeah,
I was pretty impressed with the game plan that you guys come out with, just stopping Moe's run coming off the half-back line and through. Like we all know, they all set up from there, but I thought the plan really come off today. Yeah,
we're really trying to limit their half-backs that are usually set up their play and most of their wins, so I think our backs played well and took some really good inset marks that obviously springboard forward.
Obviously, getting James Lloyd during the week, he's obviously a really good target for you down there to complement Dunny. So you must love going through the middle parts of the ground and seeing 2 really strong targets up there. Yeah,
it's good. He's been training for a few weeks now and finally got himself up and about, ready to go. So he'll build and get better hopefully as the season goes.
Excellent, mate. Well done.
Great work, Nathan Scurra down at ground level. And a great work by Hayden Brown this afternoon. Quickly, Hayden Brown's stats. Paul Carter had a good afternoon, didn't he, for Gippsland Isuzu?
27 disposals altogether, and that would be a total of 19 kicks and 8 handballs.
And considering that he only had 4 touches in the first quarter, his final 3 quarters were fantastic.